Welcome to the Vertex Podcast, where we discover the humanity in artists. I'm your host, Yoyocam. I'm an artist and designer based in Stone Mountain, Georgia. My work covers anything from design and video games to murals across the globe. I'm sitting down with creative professionals of all types each week to get more into the human side behind their incredible work. I get into their life stories, I get into their challenges, and I get into what fuels their creative drive in hopes to show you that your journey might be similar and that your dreams might be closer than they appear. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get into it. Welcome.
Yeah. Let me turn my do not disturb on so I can make sure that we're straight. Yeah.
Do your thing. Do your thing. How's the day today? How are you?
Good. I'm good. I can't complain.
Super happy to have you on the show. Whenever I thought about this podcast, I thought about people like you and people just in our circle who we've all been around, but we don't really know quite as well, at least past like surface level, or maybe just what their work looks like or different types of projects they've done. What have you been through, or what should we know about you that will help us understand who's sitting in front of us today?
So what have I been through? I would say I've been through a lot. I just feel like I've learned a lot. I'm more of a like multifaceted artist. So I do a lot of everything. I do tattoos, I paint murals, I do installations. But I think the biggest thing for me is just like I really just want people to know that I'm multifaceted. Like I can do a lot of everything and be pretty good at it.
Mhm.
I don't want to be like too cocky, but I can pull some shit out now.
Yeah. So where did it start? What was the first of the many things that you know how to do?
What was the first? I think tattooing, not even I think, but I know tattooing came first. I started tattooing in like 2012. Um, or did it come first? Or I guess school was first because I was going to art school, but I didn't study that well. I studied the art of partying more than anything.
Art of partying.
So
Hey
like,
man, that's important too.
yeah, I think it was. I think it was. And I went to the real GSU. So I spent a lot of time there making connections, making friends. I feel like that's where things really started because a lot of the things that have happened are really because of the people that I met at Georgia State. Um, like just how you just know people and can like dots start connecting. Um, but once I left Georgia State, I was only there for about 2 years, 2.5 years. I went to another art school and failed out of that. I'm just not a school girly. I
Mhm.
think that's what it is for me. Like school wasn't like the traditional school didn't do it. Like,
Mm. What about it? Like I think I understand you because I personally like I know how it is to not like school. I wanted to quit a bunch of times, and I had turbulence with my dad about it a lot. Like I went to him probably every year and was like, I can't do this no more. And
yeah,
somehow I found myself back in the classroom, but I didn't like it. I found myself butting heads with professors, especially in creative classes, because I'm like, y'all are trying to streamline everybody, and I want to do my
right,
own thing. And like, was that
right.
how it was for you?
Yes, it was. But in hindsight, I wish that I would have paid attention because I I had some really cool professors and I didn't give them a chance just because I thought that they were lame or I not even lame. I just thought I was bigger than it, I think. I was like really into the party culture and like I was promoting and stuff really hard. So I wasn't really trying to be in class.
Mhm.
But then like years down the line, I find out that my professors were actually tattoo artists, were like crazy dope muralists. Like had I paid attention a little more, I probably would have found out who they were and like really, locked in with them.
Mhm.
Um, but hindsight is 2020.
Mhm.
Um, I wish I would have paid more attention, but whatever. I think everything that happened on my school journey led me to tattooing. Um, because again, like I was partying so much that I ended up meeting a random guy in the graveyard one night that was fully covered head to toe. And just having a conversation with him led me to my mentor.
What was that
So
conversation? Do you remember it?
I was like, I said, what the fuck do you do? Why can you look like this? You know, like, I had no clue. Like what? Like I'm from the city, but like at that time, I hadn't really seen like a lot of heavily tattooed people like that, right? Because I come from like a kind of a Christian family.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you know, your body is your temple and all that shit. Um, but I kind of was just like, bro, like, what is it? Like, how can you look like this and like have money? Like, what's the vibe? Are you like fresh out of jail or something? Like, what's your story? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and come to find out, he was fresh out of prison. But that's neither here nor there. It was a little sketchy, but he did end up connecting the dots for me to my mentor, who um, who was like this popping ass graffiti artist and a really good tattooer. He was opening his own shop. At that time, he had worked at Southern Star. He had worked at like some other really good shops in the city. And I just ended up getting tattooed by him because I struck up a conversation with this random stranger in the bar, you
Mm.
know?
So what was that like? So you ended up getting your first tattoo like once you met him, or like after working with him for a while, or like your first tattoo is like that's a big decision. Once you have a couple, it's kind of like it's easier to get another, but that first one is pretty important. So
Yeah.
how'd that go?
So my first one was actually how do I want to I'm ashamed to say it. My first one was in the basement of this guy's house.
Uh-huh.
And my like god brother took me. And that was in high school. So I only had one tattoo at the time. And I mean I got like Bible thumped that day when I came back with that
Mm.
tattoo. Like my aunt had scriptures ready. She was like reading things out, and it was like very not traumatic, but it was just like, God damn, woman, you know.
Hey, you think you killed somebody?
Relax. Like it's not that deep, but my second or my maybe when I met him, I was on like my third. And I was getting a memorial piece for one of my friends who had passed.
Mhm.
And I was telling him all about that. Um, and we at the time I wasn't even thinking about tattooing. I wasn't thinking about continuing art because I had already failed out of school. I was like, I was about to give up on it. I'm not gonna lie. Um, I was kind of in a space where I was like, man, fuck that shit. It'll never work. Um, but getting tattooed by him, I was telling him that I was about to go start dancing, and how I was going to like just switch my whole life up. And he was like, why are you gonna do that? He's like, why don't you just, he's like, I'm about to open a shop. Just come bring me your stuff, and let me look at it. And if I can teach you some shit, then stay and don't go to the tryout or whatever the thing was. And I was like, all right. So I went the next day. And I swear it was like divine because his shop was opening that weekend or some shit. Um, so it kind of like meeting him like switched my whole life. Like, cause I really, really thought I was gonna start dancing at that time. A lot of my friends were dancing and making good money. I mean, like good money. So I'm thinking about it.
It's tempting. It's definitely
It was
tempting.
so tempting. It was so tempting. But I also was thinking, like, damn, I got eczema. I can't really do all that. I was thinking about how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wear tights or something. So I was kind of glad when I met him and kind of relieved. And it just like switched my whole life up, man. Like, and then at that time, like everything just became tattooing. Everything just became like, surrounded by art.
Mm.
I for a long time, like I think that my mom really thought I was a dancer because I was at the shop all the time, consistently getting tattooed, um, staying there all night. My mom was like, "So, is there something you want to talk about?
Mm.
Like, is there something you're going through?" And it's like, "No, I'm just learning a new craft."
It's like,
So
okay, sure, sure.
yeah, she was very skeptical. Very skeptical. She's like, "Can't be. You can't be just doing art." Like it took her a while to come around to it. But once they started really like seeing that I was locking in on it, and that it was becoming a passion and that it was something that I was at least halfway good at. I mean, I won't say really good at the time. I was kind of struggling, but it was my mom came around to it eventually. But I'm grateful for him. Like that was a whole switch up for me. And I probably wouldn't have met half of the people that I know, especially in like the public art realm, like as far as like muralists or graffiti artists and writers. I would have never met them had I not met my mentor. Yeah.
So, so what was that program, or what was that time period like? Like if we were able to kind of watch one of those nights that you were out all night and just tattooing and just learning, like what was life like for you at that time? What was like the routine, the schedule? What kind of stuff were you practicing on, like oranges or fake skin, or what kind of stuff were you doing? What did he have you?
Yep. Yep. I was practicing on oranges. I'm from here, like I said that before, but like I got a shit ton of cousins. So I was just calling my cousins. I was like, "Hey y'all, come help me. I need somebody to practice on." And they was down, they come, they pull up. So I was doing them, I was doing all my friends. Um, and it was just, and then at night it would be more of the graffiti world. We would go out, we'd paint trains, we'd hit spots.
Mhm.
Um, it was just it was like I was fully immersed in like the lifestyle for a long time.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, it was a good time.
Did you have any did you have any points where like stereotypes were broken, or like things like, oh, I never even knew that it was all like this, you know?
Um, I think the biggest stereotype that was broken for me in that time is that Black people could do traditional work. I always associated like the style of American traditional with white boys,
Mhm.
um, until I met him, and I was like, oh damn, like I guess we could do it too. And he was kind of like showing me how it works better on Black and brown people, and how like just opening up a design and leaving things like with skin breaks, and more solid colors rather than like wispy things stands the test of time.
Mhm.
Um, so it was mind boggling for me again because I came from a Christian home, so I didn't really see. I mean, I had seen tattoos and I had seen traditional tattoos, but truly only good tattoos on white people, until I started dealing with them and I met a lot of the people that he was associated with. That I was like, dang, Black people can tattoo too. Like this shit, we could get color too. Like
Yeah.
it was eye opening, the whole experience. And I only apprenticed for like maybe 2 years, a year and a half, and then the shop closed. Um, and then where did I go? I went to Iron Palm for a while,
Iron
and then
Palm,
I.
is that here? Is that like a shop?
Mhm. Yep. I've only worked in Atlanta, and I've only lived. Well, I don't say only worked. Like I guess by other places, but like as far as like my resident or like my home shop is has always been here.
Mm,
So
okay.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
invited like off Trinity. I think they got another location too or something. Everybody's expanded a lot. Um, then I went to City of Ink for a while. Uh, it's around for a good minute, just trying to find where I fit in, what works, all the while like developing connections, meeting people, um, learning things. It's been a really cool journey. I won't lie.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So, how's the community, the tattooing community? I know as at least on the muraling side, like we're super supportive and we're like a big family a lot of the times. But I know that not every industry and not every area is like that. You know, how does it feel in the tattoo world?
So how do I want to put it? So things have changed. Let me say
Mhm.
it like that. Um, I feel like, you know, post 2020, things have changed a lot. Like when I first started, it felt very segregated and cliquish here. So it was kind of hard for me to find space where I was seen. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
where my art was valued, I guess. So that was an interesting moment. But now it seems like it's becoming more. It seems like it's becoming more interconnected. Like especially as far as like the women and the Black females go, we're like we're linking up and we're developing our own like coalition or our own network of people, to where it doesn't feel like competition. It's more like camaraderie. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's more fun to like just hang out and talk shop and kick it, even if we all don't work in the same space. So it's evolving. That's the beautiful thing about tattooing. I think that like everything changes with the times, like no one thing stays the same.
Mm.
But that's how it was in Atlanta. But every other place I went, like New York, Richmond, LA, those communities, even like I just got back from Portland, those communities are like very close knit. And they kind of like, it seems like they fuck with everybody. If you can tattoo, if you're good at it and you care about it, then people embrace you. And
Mm.
people will fuck with you, or excuse me, people will talk to you. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's all good. Speak freely. Speak freely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Like being able to go, especially whenever you can connect with people in other cities, because then it's like you go back and like, but the homie's still over there, and so it kind of like you literally expand your network that way. And so then
Yeah,
when they come through this side, you're able to take care of them here. Like that's
exactly.
one of my favorite parts about being an artist. Just it's not even just a street art thing, because even if you do stuff in galleries and the word will just get around like that too, but just being an
Yeah.
artist in general, I guess, and like traveling around, it forming that network across like states and sometimes even countries. If you can get out that far,
Yeah.
people be hype.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Like I feel like art in general can take you anywhere. Like it becomes your voice. It becomes who you are. So if you value it and you respect the craft, then everyone's going to be able to see that. The work and the care will speak for itself, and people fuck with you. You know,
Yeah, I
for sure.
heard from my very first college professor ever. He told me, your whatever you have, like the energy you put into your work it will be crystallized in the marks. And so
Yeah.
whether that's your emotions, whether that's like the energy, the speed, like you can literally look at somebody's piece. They don't even have to be there. It could be long finished. It's in a gallery on a wall. You can see like this person was pulling
Yeah.
lines quick. You
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
this person was super meticulous and slow. Like you can see it and you can even
Yeah.
feel it, whatever type of energy they had on them. And so if you have that same like love for the craft, like it'll definitely read. The ones that really love it, they'll sense it.
I agree. And then like tattooing even takes it a step further because it doesn't just end on the canvas, it's with the people, because everyone, I don't know if everyone knows it. I was about to say everyone knows, but I don't know if everyone knows it. But tattooing is like a direct exchange of energy. So
Mm,
if you are upset or you are stressing your client out or you're happy and you're in a good mood, like that carries on with your client every time they look down and see that piece of work, you know?
mm,
So it's important, like in this realm, it's important that you keep your energy right because you're giving it away.
yeah.
You're sharing it with someone forever.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like you're literally putting it into their skin.
yes.
Oh man.
Yes. So like you just, it's I think this is like tattooing is such a sacred art that you really have to have the love in your heart for it.
Mm.
And because it's hard as shit. Like it's there is no erase. There
No.
is no like, you know, like, oh, let me backspace. Like
Mm-mm. No control
there's
Z.
none of that, you know. No, like you can't paint over it and be like, oh, it'll be fine. Like nobody will see that, but this it's like it's you get one shot,
Mm. So then,
so you gotta put your best foot forward.
so then how do you go about making sure? Because I mean, you tattoo pretty regularly now. So, but I'm sure that the days you have, your energy and your mood and things change. So how do you maintain, a healthy energy level so that you're not spreading out negativity onto your clients?
I make sure my space is intact. I feel like everything sheds once I hit this door. Like I don't bring any I don't bring anything, any baggage to this space. So as long as my space is good and and it's clean in here, then I can shed everything else and then pick it back up once I walk out the door. Like it's just something about this threshold um that just doesn't allow me to harbor any angst or like, you know. And I think that's why it's so important to find where you belong, so that you can do your best and be your best self, you
Mm.
know. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm
Mm.
grateful for this space. I just opened this studio maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, 2023. So I'm grateful. And I liked my other shop. I liked where I was before too. I was at Memorial. And those guys were great. I learned a lot over there. And I liked that I could close my door over there. A lot of shops it's like an open floor plan. So you're getting everybody's energy from every which way. But at Memorial, you could close your door and that kind of like prepped me for this. So it's as long as you keep your mind right and you figure out how to separate the home life and the art life, then you'll be fine. But it's I think it's something that's learned over time. Yeah.
There's like a practice you gotta it's like a skill to develop.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Mm,
Yeah.
interesting. So how do you that's something that like I'd like to learn how to do. I mean, I don't have a shop or even like a separate studio, but just in a place where being able to kind of shed off whatever I have going on so that I can lock in and draw. It seems like a lot of times I have to actually get going in my craft before I'm able to like let go of it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it's something for you that like you can just walk in and it just kind of falls off or it just waits like a coat at the door,
Yeah.
but how do you if somebody wanted to learn how to do that, like what would you tell them to practice?
Um, man, well, how to compartmentalize? I don't know. And maybe that's not a good thing to practice. Um, I I don't really know. I don't really even know how to what the practice looks like. I mean, because it has become so natural for me. And maybe because I've been in such weird situations, I've just learned how to tuck things away until I have time for it. I'm like, every time I walk in here, I'm like, okay, I got to get some shit done. And whether that's here or like you have this whole like area with your lights and shit, like
Oh
that's
yeah.
even that, like a couple deep breaths before you sit down. Or like everyone is different. So like you said, like even just doing the work and like allowing yourself to get into the mode, and then letting it shed off like that is even a great practice. Just doing the work, you know.
Mm,
So
interesting.
I don't be
Cool.
knowing how shit happened for me, honestly. And I I will say like a lot of things have changed for me since I've had my son. Like mentally, I've just like things have just like certain shit don't even move me. It's like it rolls off like water on a duck's back.
Hmm.
Like I just it's life is bigger than that.
Was it a
So
sudden switch like that? I noticed you snapped your finger. Like it was an instant. Like was it just the moment he came through that was it was just
yep,
like that? Interesting. What
it
do you
is.
think that
It's
is?
I don't know. Hormones. Uh
Like parental
I don't
instinct.
know. And yeah, like maternal instinct, like something just switched. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh shit. God damn it. Okay, this is real. All right.
It's time to stop playing.
Yeah, like it definitely makes you be like, all right, I gotta lock in.
Mm,
Like shit gotta be done, because he don't give a fuck. Like he don't care if I'm upset. Like he's
mm-mm.
like, bitch, I said I wanted crackers right now.
Right.
Like you mean you're
Right.
upset? You're having a breakdown? I don't care. Hit them
Right.
crackers.
Yeah, very true. Uh. So then like um I definitely wanted to ask more about like how having a child changed the game for you because I know that when you're going, especially whenever you're, if you're into your craft and you're doing it on the regular, it seems like you barely have enough time as is. And then here
Yeah.
comes this thing that needs all the time. It needs all of it. It needs the time you didn't even have for yourself. And so, but then you still have to do everything else. So,
Yes.
how does that work?
I feel like I'm stroking my chin a lot because I don't even know. I don't even know. Some days are more challenging than others. I do I do feel like I'm only 2 years in, right? Like almost three of like this motherhood thing. Um, and things have they really have shifted. So I think I'm more so just on like writing things down, paying attention to my time, um, and making sure that I'm utilizing my time the way that I should when I do have it. Um, Teaching my son how to be in the space with me, but not, um, I don't want to, he's not a nuisance, but not being needy. Like you have to like allow your children to interact with you in your space so that they learn how to act, so that you can continue your life. Um, it's, but it's been transformative. I feel like I've lost a lot of jobs having a kid. I feel like a lot of people I feel like a lot of people have just kind of written me off into this mom box.
Hmm.
So I don't get as many emails. I don't get as many reach outs or cold phone calls as much as I did before. Um, but I just kind of have been in a space where I have to create my own reality. I'm developing a reality for him, so I have to learn how to create one for myself and just keep pushing. Like whether people call me or not, uh, I got to figure out how to make this shit happen. So it's made me more. It's made me more of a go getter. Like I'm not waiting on shit to happen to me. I'm not waiting on calls. I'm calling niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, I got time.
Yeah.
You try to paint that? Yeah, I can do that. You know,
Yeah.
like I'm being more aggressive about like what it is. But I still haven't quite figured out the timing of it all, but I think I'm getting better. I think I'm getting better.
Mhm.
Um, it's just you got to be time management, man. Um, thank God my kid went to school though. I ain't gonna lie. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I was like, when he went to that first day, I was so sad. And then I felt the freedom lifting on me. I was like, oh, it's a new day. I got
Oh,
to
now, now you know why the parents wanted you to go to school. It's like, nah, you going to school today. I need this.
you gotta go.
Yeah, you don't have no space here. Not till 3 o'clock.
No, not today. Mommy got shit to do. Shit.
Yeah, that is
Man,
funny. That's
it's
interesting.
wow. But you know, like I'm also like grateful for my partner too. Because my partner makes it like a little bit easier. We both have like these unconventional jobs, so we make our own schedules. Um, so he picks up a lot of my slack when I have like murals to paint, or if I have to jump to a tattoo convention, or either him or my mom or my aunts. Like having support of the family is like top tier level of adulting. Like I need a team. Like,
Mhm.
or what's that saying where they be like, you need a tribe
Oh, it
to
takes
raise
takes a
a
village to
kid.
raise a child.
It
I
takes
think it is.
yeah, it takes a village to raise a child, and you're goddamn skippy. Okay? Because
Yeah.
I need the help. Like, I'd be like, Auntie, please, can you watch him? And I don't really
Come
even have
get
to
them.
say please. But because everybody loves my kids, so they'd be like, "Can I watch him? Can I watch him?" I'd be like, "Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Come get him
yeah,
now.
sure can. I'll drop him off.
Yeah.
He'll be there in 5 minutes."
Yeah. That's cool. It sounds like you're pretty close to your family then.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We're all here too, so that really helps. Except for my dad and my sister, um, but they help like emotionally, and like my sister helps a lot financially. This is her first nephew, so she thinks it's like her third child or something. Um, so they help a lot. So I'm really grateful for my family. We're all really close knit. So
Hmm.
you know,
That's cool.
yeah.
How were they pretty supportive of your art pursuit, or what is that, pursuits as well?
Yeah, yeah, they were because everybody's an artist in my family, like in
Oh,
one way or
really?
another. Yeah,
Huh. Is
yeah.
it
So we're like all entrepreneurs.
cool? What like
Yeah.
what kind of art's in the family? That sounds like a superhero family, like the
Um,
Incredibles.
so my mom is a hairstylist. She's been doing hair over here, like on the South Side, for how old am I? 35, like 40 years. In the same shop, same spot. Um, my aunt, one of my aunts is a real estate agent and like a stylist. So she's like a stylist for the stars. Um, and one of my other aunts, she is a bass player. She plays bass and sings background. So she's played for like Outkast, Monica, TLC, um,
Damn.
Tony Braxton. She played on the Monique show. She's one of them ones.
Yeah.
Um, so she's like a little, I don't want to say little because she's the big one, but she's like a living legend
Yeah.
in Atlanta. So
Mm.
she's a big deal. Uh, um, but who else? Oh, my uncle is an artist as well. He's the reason why I kind of started painting. I wanted to be a singer because I thought that I could do that because I was named after my aunt and she sings. So I was like, I could sing too. Must be. I got the same name, right? I sang for my grandma one time and she was like, baby, you got to find
Oh.
something.
That is so funny. That's how it be, man. They'll hit you with like the harsh truths. Don't nobody else want to say, but they'll make it sweet for you. But they'll be like,
I mean, she was ready in front of, but she was like, "You got to find something else to do, my girl. Like that ain't it."
dang, dang.
So I was like, "Shit, I guess I'll try to draw."
Mm,
Um, but that worked out luckily.
mm.
So yeah,
So you said that
yeah.
your uncle was an artist, like a visual artist,
Mhm.
and so you said that he inspired you to draw. Were you inspired by his work specifically, or was it like maybe you were inspired by like TV or games or something, and then you just kind of you put two and two together between him and the inspiration?
Not so much because we really were like, so like growing up, we were super sheltered. So we couldn't watch a lot of things. Like we didn't do a lot of video games. We didn't have no video game consoles unless we went to my aunt's house. Like so it was either draw and paint or do hair with my mom at the salon or go to dance class. It was never really like sit and watch TV. My mom just wasn't on that. Um, and I find myself being kind of the same way with my son. Like he watches certain things, but like do something with your hands, son. Like go over there, you know.
Yeah. So was that
So
something that like your mom was basically like, y'all are gonna do this because I want y'all to stay studious and creative, or was it like she just didn't like what TV was doing, or
I think it was a little of both.
mm,
She's always been like, find you something to do with your own two hands that the government can't take away. Um,
that's nice.
so she's always been on that. Um, and she just felt like TV was like brainwashing. Uh, so and I get it. I mean, I missed a lot of like I never got to watch The Simpsons when they were coming out like that. I never got to like I watched Pokemon a lot, but that was like the only thing. Everything else was like she'd be like, "Oh, that's the devil."
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. I never saw Harry Potter because of that. Never saw it. That's witchcraft. That was witchcraft.
witchcraft. Yeah, like it was a
Yeah.
whole thing. And it didn't help that one of my other cousins is like this pastor in this mega church. Uh, he like founded one of the biggest mega churches here.
Mhm.
So we were like all super Christian, you know, like very like didn't celebrate Halloween, could only do Hallelujah night.
Mm.
Um, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah. We used to just get
not
the candy on sale on November 1st. We go in and get all the candy on
it
sale.
pissed me off. I'd be like, damn. So now I dress my son up. I'm like, nigga, you going trick or treat. It's really for me. But you gonna get to do this. You gonna get to do this shit. Cause
Yeah.
that's like you gotta do it.
Hmm.
So yeah. But
Mm.
luckily she's over it now. It's so crazy, like how she raised me and my sister, and then how she raises like my younger brothers. They can like kind of live how they want to live and be who they are. I guess she realized that like, you know, trying to be super strict on your kids just makes them rebel. Because when I got to college, boy, I was buck wild.
Cause and I mean, cause it's like you didn't have any space to pull it out
No,
more. So
thank
yeah,
you.
had to definitely because I think it's important for every person. You just got to be able to have that
Yeah,
time to like explore who you are and like
yeah, at a
yeah.
young age, so that you're not doing it like in your 30s, you know?
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, because
yeah.
then it makes it uncomfortable. Like the older you get, because then it's like people around you think like you should have been doing this earlier or whatever. Like you should have been doing this
Yeah.
growing up. And it's like, look, I got my
Yo,
life.
so many times people have been like, you're about to get your black card revoked because you haven't seen like certain movies. So, like, I didn't see like Belly until I was like 25.
Mm,
Like, I think maybe like I watched Boys in the Hood or like the clips of it one time, but like, again, didn't see that till like 26, 20, like 25 is when my boyfriend at the time was like, you gotta watch these fucking movies. Like, because you embarrassing me not knowing. And I'm
yeah, I mean,
like,
yeah, it happens like
oh,
that.
it does.
Yeah, I'm
It
not
does.
like a big movie person either, so it's a lot of, like, especially movies. Certain shows I may or may not have seen, but movies I'm terrible at them. Like, and like any of those movies, they'll be like, "Have you seen?" Most times it's no. 9 times out
No,
of 10, I have not seen that movie.
no, I haven't.
Yeah, interesting. So then like, so you were having to stay busy, stay working with your hands. So what kind of drawing were you doing whenever you decided to draw? Was it like you said you watched a lot of Pokemon? Was it Pokemon you were drawing?
It was Pokemon. It was these weird looking big foreheaded girls. Um, my mom, my mom loves to pull them out um, every so often, and I'd be like, "Why the fuck do you still have that?" Like, but it's funny now because I draw a lot of lady heads, um, and I draw a lot of like black women. So it's funny that I was even drawing that back then, like not even really realizing that that would be like a staple for me. Um, but it was just stupid stuff, Looney Tunes characters, whatever I saw, I could draw. So it was just whatever, anything that I could get my hands on, really.
And
So
then so then when did paint come into play, or did tattoos? Were you doing? It sounds like you were doing a lot of like drawing and painting before tattoos was even a thing. So how did
yeah.
like did you just start to like get canvases and paint, or was it like you got like commissioned by somebody, or what happened?
So none of the commissions started until I started tattooing.
Hmm.
Um, because I initially was on the path of being an art teacher. So I was at Georgia State studying art education, and I thought that that's what I was going to do. Um, and then I sat in on a class once, and I was like, "Oh hell no! So, this, this this ain't what I thought it was," you know. So the canvases and stuff really started once tattooing came into play. Everything else was just like sketchbooks or like projects for school. Um, and were they like, but a lot of that stuff was like collages and just works on paper. It wasn't really like paint until like 2012, 2013.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, when I
Hmm.
really being like, okay, I'm gonna make this a career. I'm gonna do this. At the time, I was still like making money by doing by working for Delta. I worked for Delta for like 9 years, all through my apprenticeship, all through like my first like 5 years of tattooing before I was making any money.
Mm.
Um,
Like the airline,
so
right? Delta Airlines.
mhm,
So what were you doing over there?
throwing bags.
Man, I heard the hours are like crazy for that.
The hours are nuts. So I would work I would work 2 days in a row. So like 16-hour days. Yeah, like 16-hour days, 2 days in a row, and then I would have the rest of the week off.
Oh.
Because at that point I had like so much seniority that I could get the bid that I wanted. Um, so I would do that for a long time. Or when I had to end up going like part time, um, I would do like the morning shift for like 3 days and work from like 6 to like 2:30 or 3, and then get off and go straight to the tattoo shop.
Mm.
Yeah.
Man, that's
So
like that
I was
that dedication right there, man.
yeah, I was burning the candle at both ends for a
Yeah.
long time.
I
Yeah.
enjoy whenever I hear people doing like multiple things like that, because it just shows how much you really enjoy it, or how much you really want it, or like you're determined to
Oh,
get it. um but I just know like work can tire you out, and
yeah.
just other things in life can tire you out, and it's so easy for people to get discouraged, or it's a good reason to be like, I don't want to go work on tattoos today. I worked, or
Right.
I did this other thing, so I'm not going to. And
Right.
I just love hearing when people are like yeah, I did this and I'm about to go do this other thing because
Yeah,
that's just what you want to do, like you gotta
that's telling me like my way out. I was like, because people get that job at Delta and they stay there for years. Like that is their bread and butter. Now, granted, you do fly for free. You, your mama, your step parents, all your like not your siblings, but like your siblings can get a companion pass. So like the flights were great. Like that part was perfect. And I get why people stay. But for me, it was like tattooing was my way out of there. Cause it was too structured for me. Like wearing a uniform, doing the same things every day, um, having to answer to people and like look a certain way. It just wasn't for me. Uh, so tattooing was my way out. And when I finally quit, oh my God, everybody thought I was lying. They were like, you really gonna leave? Like, is this what you're gonna do with yourself? And like, how are you gonna make money? I was like, I told y'all I've been tattooing.
right.
This is what I'm doing. I made it way. So and it's been working out. So I quit there like 2017, and I ain't really had to look back. But you gotta like I don't know. You really gotta hustle to make the shit work.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's the
yeah,
spinach. I think that's the spinach. Everybody wants to make their own schedule, but then you got to do all the it's not going to be as easy as the other job because that's
no,
that's the part that's easy. It's hard cuz you got to go every day, but it's
yes,
easy cuz it's like already made for you. But then it's like you
yeah,
flip it, you know?
yeah. And you're doing all the footwork. You're doing your own taxes.
Yeah.
You're doing like you're doing
Yeah.
you're scheduling shit. Like it's definitely a different side of the same coin.
Mhm.
Um, Still hard work, but it's totally worth it because like especially like now that I got a kid, it's like I can be off in time to go pick him up from school, like or make sure I take him to school, or just to take him to the park, like anything. It's like I have the time to be a present parent. Um, so
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, being able to make your own schedule, and I'm sure he appreciates that too. Like even if he doesn't know it yet, I'm sure like in time he'll be like, "Oh, that's really cool that like she was
Yeah.
able to do
Because
that."
right now we just had a whole fit because the man didn't want to leave school. I'm like, I got somewhere to be. I to go.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, so whenever you decided to leave Delta and pursue tattooing, what was your can you tell me what your headspace was like maybe the day before? Like what was were you making good money by then? Were you like terrified? Were you determined? Were you like this is over, I'm done, I've never been more ready? Or was it like, I don't know.
So I was kind of skeptical, but I was kind of forced into it. The shop that I was working at the time was like, either you quit or I'm gonna fire you.
Oh.
So I didn't really have much of a choice because they wouldn't let me come in at like 2:30 on those days. They wanted me there all day. So I was like, damn. I was kind of feeling tugged, and like, of course, my parents didn't want me to quit because they had been flying for free for 10 years. So I was like feeling tugged, but once I finally let it go, I was like, damn, this was great. I should have
Mm.
been did it. Like more money came. I just ended up making a lot of fucking money, a lot more money than I was making in Delta.
I know they
Um,
pay good over there too.
they do. At the time, they were all right.
Oh, okay.
I ain't gonna lie. They was like, it wasn't like, I mean, my rent was like 670 at the time. And I still had to work like double shifts. But I also wasn't really working. I was only working like 2 days.
But
So
if you
maybe
got
it could have been better
16,
if I was actually there.
but you
But
working 16-hour days, you're catching 30 something hours in 2 days. Like that's a check almost when you hit 40. Kinda.
Taxes.
Oh yeah, true.
You got to think about that too, because your taxes eat up a lot.
Yeah, very
Um,
true.
so it was cool for what it was worth. I feel like I was only getting like maybe like $16 an hour then, $15 an hour,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was cool, but it wasn't anything compared to where I was tattooing at the time. Because they were like a heavy walk-in shop at the time. So everybody knew where they were, everybody knew who they were. So it was like it was a perfect time to be there. And it was more beneficial for me to be there all day long because,
Just
people would come in
catching.
at 12. Yeah. And the way in the shop, the way it works is like, especially if you're in a walk-in shop, it's first come, first serve. So if you're the first person there, you're the first person to make money. If you're the last person there, then you got to go through all these other people and then you can get a chance to make money. So like being there on time helped me out a lot because I could get one in and then maybe like two or three, after. And then if they were small, shit, I could get like five or six. You just never know. Um, so I do miss working in a walk-in shop sometimes, but
Yeah, isn't that like whenever you said earlier you say that you're a guest at other shops? Is that kind of what it is too? Where like they'll kind of advertise you and then people come in?
it depends sometimes. It depends on where you're at. Some shops will advertise for you, and like, help you get and let you take walk-ins. But other shops, you have to kind of do that on your own and like just hope that your name holds weight and that people will come see
Mm.
you. Been kind of lucky though. Like I end up like just walking around in the city for a day and like passing out cards or like making sure that people know that I'm there. Like if I'm tagging it on Instagram or whatever, like Instagram has been a really good tool for me. Even though I hate it now, it feels so different now. But it was a good tool for me back then, like when I was going to new places. Um, but now I think like when I haven't really traveled as much, in like the last 2 years because of the kid. But when I went to Portland, it was very like it was pop.
Yeah.
It,
Cool.
it was good. I was like, oh shit, y'all niggas want to see me? Great.
So was it more so like people would see you and then all of a sudden like, oh shoot, and they go in and get one? Or was it like they were waiting for you, like they knew you were coming and they were hyped?
A little bit of both.
Oh man.
A
That's
little
what's
bit of
up.
both. So like, which is cool, and like really what you want is like you want to be booked up. You want to
Mm-hmm.
be able to like make your money back from paying for the trip.
For sure.
So, but it depends. It depends on the spot. Like when I went to Richmond, I didn't know anybody there. I just randomly decided to go to Richmond, and it worked out. I took walk-ins the whole time, and like by like the second or third day that I was there, people had been telling people that I was there, so they were coming.
Mm.
So it worked out. And I mean, no like I don't want to make I don't want to make it all about colorism, but like when you go to places where there's not as many black people or black artists, where that's scarce, then you get the support of the black people in that area,
Yeah.
because they're looking for people that look like them and that they don't usually have access to, you know?
Mm. Yeah. It's
So
kind of like it makes me think about like haircuts. Like whenever you go in and like get a black barber, you see a black barber in the corner, you're like, you. Yeah. Yeah. Because it's
yeah,
an
it's like
understanding.
that.
That's what's up. Hmm. So
It's like that.
what are you seeing? I know it all depends on the different styles and just what people see from you, but what do you see even as you were learning and just as your style is developed? Like what are people asking for the most? Or like are they looking for like do you see that it's a like from a subject matter perspective, is everybody getting like around the same kind of thing, or is it like what kind of stuff do you see people like is there any commonalities amongst the things that people ask for? I guess that's my question.
Not really. Um, not not really. I think everybody is so different. Like that's the crazy thing about tattooing. It's like you never know what the fuck you're gonna get.
Mm.
Like you could be doing a back piece of Jesus Christ and then be tattooing a Satan symbol in the next 35 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you just never really know because people are so unpredictable. Um, some people like, some people have certain styles and they lock themselves into that. But I like money. So I'm like, I'm pretty open. Like I'll be a custom artist and be happy about it. Um, so it just depends on where you are. Like certain spaces that are like more heavily tattooed, like a Portland or like a New York, or like a LA, they're more like they're looking for creativity. You know what I'm saying? They're looking to see like, oh, what flash does she have? Like, oh, like what is she doing with her art to push it and make it look different? But here in the city, sometimes people are unexperienced. And they don't really know what good work looks like. So they just be like, oh, I want not eat, pray, love, but that heartbeat, the cross and the heart. They want a little infinity sign. So but I really don't care. All money is green or blue. So I'm gonna make it,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
true.
But different spaces definitely have like different ideals on what they think like tattooing is or what like how far tattooing can be pushed. I think Atlanta is like just scratching the surface of that sometimes. Um, and people here, unless you're in, uh, again, I don't mean to make it like racial, but like unless you're in the white shops or like you're in a super poppin', like eclectic black shop, then you don't really get like the cool pieces. You're getting names, you're getting praying hands,
And Bible
you're
verses.
getting Bible verses. Yeah. So it just depends on where you're at. Like, it depends on where you're at. Yeah. And I feel like I've been able to jump into a lot of different spaces. Like I've worked in white shops, I've worked in black shops, I've worked in Hispanic shops. So I've been able to like dip my toe everywhere. So I feel like I'm hella prepared for whatever comes my way, you know?
Hmm.
Um, so,
So,
it depends on where you at.
so working in those different shops, like, what are you finding? Can you tell me some of the differences and like some of the similarities amongst them all? Like, what's the like? Do you they're all tattooing, so
Mhm.
there's gonna of course be things that are the same across the board, but just in terms of like differences as a worker there and a tattoo artist there, and like the different techniques they have, or just
Mhm.
things like that, or just even the way that they approach their clients and things, like what are some of the differences?
Um, hmm, I'm trying to say this and be politically correct.
Take your time, take your time, it's no rush.
So, what are the differences? Um, I would say sometimes, and let me say it just from my experience as a tattooer going into tattoo shops, right? So, like sometimes when I walk into certain shops that don't service us as often, they they tend to kind of brush me off. They tend to be kind of like dismissive or like act like they don't want my money. But I feel more welcomed in black spaces than I do in white spaces. And I'm not sure if they do that to the actual clients. I know when I was working in a white shop, maybe like one or two times I had to be like, why are you talking to her like that? You know, like
Mm.
when they address Black people. Um, but I didn't have to do that often because I think they like kind of started realizing that they were being weird.
Mm,
Um, but there are different like creatively, there are different standards almost. Sometimes it feels like when you're in Black shops, they're just there for the money, and I know that I say that like I'll make any kind of money, but sometimes you can tell just by their work that they really don't care.
mm,
They're just doing anything without like any rhyme or reason. And then when you're in like white spaces, they have certain rules that they abide by. You know what I mean? When it comes to artwork, um, like, oh, you do waves like this, or oh, oh, your tattoos face in and or face out and not in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like certain little tricks. Um, but oh, it's there are subtle differences. And I've experienced it in both ways, like being a tattooer in a shop and being a client. Sometimes it can be a little touchy. I
yeah.
think that's the best that I can say it without pissing too many people off.
Yeah. I
you
mean,
know?
it's just one of those things. I guess I ask because for people who just don't know, um like there was so many questions. Like I gotten my first tattoo probably, was it like last year, like a year ago, and I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't know any, like I didn't know where to go, who to ask, what was good, what was
Yeah.
bad. And so I guess I ask all these questions because like I just wanted to, like, I want to help the next person that's like, okay, I want to go somewhere cool, get a tattoo, but like I don't even know if, like, if I'm in here and I'm taking this type of response from the artist, is it supposed to be
What
this
do I
way?
do?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, all right, how do I know if I'm getting a good deal? How do I know if
Yeah.
the person's gonna be good? Like, do you have like uh like a protocol you follow to separate good tattoo artists and shops from bad ones?
Mm, I, I don't know if it's a protocol, but I think doing your research is important. I think like there's so many ways for you to be introduced to people before you even walk into a shop. You can kind of get their vibe off of their Instagram or off of their website. Just like doing research and seeing if that's the person for you, looking through their portfolio and seeing if they can tattoo on your skin is a big thing. Um, like, do you see it in their portfolios? Is that something like, are you going to be asking them to do something that you don't see regularly of them, And then just doing your due diligence. Like, even if it goes as far as like reaching out to the artist and being like, hey, I don't see this in your book. But is this something that you could do? Because sometimes people only show things that that they want more of. They don't show every little thing. So asking is a good thing to do, like being like, hey, I don't see it, but is this possible for you, and if not you, then who would you suggest? you know like developing that relationship with your tattooer, because we're just people. And most of the time, if they're a dickhead to you, you don't want to get tattooed by them anyway. So asking questions and seeing how people act, and interacting with them online. Like, I'm really bad at it. Like, people will talk to me in my DMs, and like sometimes I respond, but sometimes it's like a billion in there, and I'm like overwhelmed. So
Yeah.
I don't. But I do try to like personalize everything. I try to like let people be able to see me through my like through my page, so people can get a good feel of it, because that's really what it is. You just want to get a feel of your artist and see if that's something, or if that's the energy that you want to carry with you.
Yeah,
So
that's real.
yeah.
I heard
Where did you end up going?
I went to a friend of mine. Her name is Swavelin. She's up in like Marietta, and
Okay.
she's from Brazil originally, but she moved here. I think like a year or two ago, and she just was just hitting the ground running tattooing, and yeah, it wasn't really like I still don't think I knew much, and I think the reason I went to her was because it was like this is somebody that I actually just know and can and it was like the tattoo I wanted. It was a small like a little it was like a crescent moon, and it was
Mm.
something that I wanted somebody to be able to do like perfect circles and perfect like arcs and curves, and I was looking at all these people's work, and like it was always like the tiniest little something, and I'm like, I can't do that, I can't do it, I can't do it. But her stuff was like super crispy. It was
Crispy.
like a
Yeah.
compass, and I was like, okay, this will work. And I
Yeah.
remember,
But see, that's it. That's doing
yeah,
your due diligence.
yeah, it was like
Yeah.
because it's like you said, there's no take backs, and I
No.
understand people are capable of mistakes, and so it's like I if they make an honest mistake, I can only really be mad at myself for like even going into this. Like, cause I'm like, hey, look, if you made a mistake, you made a mistake. That's just you're
Yeah.
human. It is what it is. And like
Yeah.
I
You
can be
are human,
mad. Like,
but you gotta be good enough for you gotta be good enough to make a mistake and your client not know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I've hidden plenty of mistakes. Oh, you know what would look great if
ah,
we just added some texture to this, you know?
man.
Hey,
So what would
you gotta be
yeah, I'm curious about like that very like or maybe the first couple like mistake or maybe the worst mistakes. Like are there any that you were like, "Oh, how am I going to get
oh
out of this?"
oh my God. I did like God, and I saw him the other day. Um I did like this tribal sleeve. And I got on my mentor's nerves about it. I was like, let me do it. I know I can do it. And he was like, fuck it, do it. Like initially I was just doing like little things, like little names, little signs, little arrows and stuff. But he let me do that and I fucked that up so bad. Like I just God, it was so bad. Yeah. But he spoke to me the other day and he was so nice. I seen him at a Nike event and he was so nice and so kind. And I was like, damn. So like he knew I was just starting. He knew, he knew I had no business doing that shit at all. But luckily, like he was just a good friend. He was like, damn, you fucked that up. That's terrible. But I'm getting fixed.
Dang. That's crazy. That's crazy cuz that's just I'm just imagining like dang it. Like for cuz you want your client to like the work. Like no matter what it is.
You do, but sometimes you miss, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you swing and you freaking miss.
Yeah.
Uh, I, I
Be
mean,
like
but
that.
has it ever happened for you, like in a mural or like on a project, and you're just like, that did not turn out the way that I thought that it would?
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. Um I did a mural or not a mural. It was like a live art thing for you know the ATL Chinatown events that
Mm,
they've been coming up recently. They're in like off of Buford Highway.
okay.
It's like the Atlanta Chinatown. I think Andrew Blooms has been running them. And it's like a great event. Like it's you get like vendors, you get live artists, you get music, the food's over there. It's really great. And I was supposed to be a live artist over there, and it was just bad. Like there was for one I showed up super late. I showed up
Okay.
like I like to be there on time, and if I'm late I like for it to just be like a few minutes, maybe like under
Yeah.
10 minutes or something. I woke up at the time I was supposed to be there, and I was like,
I'm,
oh, this is already terrible. And then I had been having a whole like slew of things happening the day before. That was the reason I got up late anyway, because I had some stuff going off at home that wasn't so good, and so got up late. Then I hadn't packed the car up. I had meant to get up earlier, pack the car up, and get there. So I didn't pull up till like maybe an hour or so after I was supposed to get there. And I could tell like he wasn't happy about it, because he was like, yo, you supposed to be here. And I wasn't mad at him at all. I wasn't mad at him, because I was like, look, I'm supposed to be here.
The fact that you even still went was admirable.
Yeah, I still wanted to pull up, and because it was supposed to be from like 10 to like 5 or 4 or something like that. I had a good amount of time. And then and he was like, okay, well, just make sure that that you keep it clean. Like he said, bring your what is this, the drop cloth, so that you don't get any on the floor and stuff. Oh, fine. So I'm putting my board up, and I'm priming up my wood panel, because I got this big wood panel. I'm priming it up, and like I'm going to like brush off the edge of the thing, and it flicks paint onto the wall next to it, and I'm like, oh. And so then I was like, okay, you know what? It's latex. I'm gonna just wait till it dries. I'm gonna just peel it off.
Yeah.
And so, but I got so scared, because he was still kind of going back and forth. And it was a white dot on a black wall. So you can see it. You're going to see that. It was like nothing else on that wall. And I'm like, bruh, this is bad. And even so I'm like trying to position the easel a certain way to where it's just in front of it. And I'm like hoping that he just don't see it. And then and then even just through the day, I was like, I didn't really have time to get what I wanted to paint in my head. I was like, I'm gonna just like draw a dragon. I do dragons all the time. It should be fine. And I'm doing this dragon, and it's just not hitting. It's bad. It's looking bad. I don't have all the colors I need. People are walking by and they're like, this is great. This is great. And then they look at mine, and they keep going, this is great. And I'm like, it was just all bad. It was terrible. And I didn't have anything to sell. This was my whole act, was this painting, and it was just a miss. It was an L.
Oh my God.
And it just
did he invite you back?
No, but it was an application thing. So it wasn't, I don't feel no type of way about it, but I just haven't applied since. I just felt bad. Oh man, I don't know. And then on top of that, I just felt like I had kind of put some pressure on myself, because like I had been doing stuff like, I thought I could do a live painting in my sleep at this point. And like, but I think I let that get to my head a little too much, and I didn't prepare enough, and it was just an L, because I didn't even finish. I didn't even get the painting finished by the end of it either. And so it was just L's on all fronts. And I was like, I'm gonna just take this back home. I'm gonna just let this ride out. And then what made it even worse, I went at the end of the day to wipe the paint, and it smudged. It didn't even come off. I was like, oh, and I was like, I had black paint, but I'm like, if I hit black over it, you're gonna see it. It's two finishes. It's two different finishes. So I was like,
sometimes you win some, and sometimes you lose.
Yeah.
Chalk your L's up and take them. You didn't lose. You just learned a lesson.
Yep. So it just be like that sometimes. It happens.
Yeah, it do.
I made it a point to myself to where, like, anytime I do something like that, I have to prepare at least a little bit. Like, I have to have some. I can't just go in and just run it. Like,
I don't do that a lot. Yeah, I bombed like that at a music festival. Like real bad. But everybody was so supportive. Like, everybody was like, "Oh, this is so good. Look at her." Like, this shit fucking sucks.
Man, it be like that.
Everybody was just so excited. I'm like, y'all niggas is lying to me, and that's fine. Like, whatever, but it's trash.
It makes you wonder if do they really like it, or are they just being like, are they saying, and then they turn around like, what was that? Or like,
I'm going to make her feel better.
Yeah, like don't be knowing sometimes.
I
But
know, but I feel like, sometimes some people really don't have a concept of what art is. Like they just see people painting and they're like, oh wow, I could never do that, you know?
hmm
So
yeah,
sometimes you can get away with it like that. But
yeah,
yeah, I feel you on them live painted L's. I've taken a few
yeah,
by just not preparing.
yeah.
But
But
every
most
time
of
that
the
I'm
murals,
prepared and like I drop a little outline or something, like I'd be like, oh yeah, I could freak this, Yeah.
yeah, like with the murals and stuff. I'm trying to think. I've had some clients feel a type of way, like where maybe I had like some pencil lines up underneath that I didn't quite cover all the way, or maybe this little spot over here needed an extra coat or something like that. But in terms of like me feeling bad about the mural itself, um, I don't think I've had any um not that I can remember. Maybe if I think long enough about it, I'll be like, ah, this one.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think so right
Mm.
now.
But you work with a lot of big clients. Like I feel like didn't you do that one off of Liam White
Oh
for
yeah.
like great or that Grady? Is that Grady or whatever that is?
Yep, it's
Like
Grady. Yeah,
that
that
shit. I
was
was like, I drop by there every day to get to my studio. So I didn't realize that it was you doing it and I saw it like happening. And I was like, oh, look at there. They're doing a little mural over there. That's so nice.
yeah, it was
But
cool.
get big clients.
Yeah,
And I'm like, what the fuck?
it's a that one was it just kind of happened. Like it wasn't anything that I like reached out for. It was just from somebody knowing somebody. I got referred to this job by somebody that I knew. I met at like a what is that? Like a creative like networking event. You know about
Oh,
Slug Global?
yes.
I went to one of those and I met a graphic designer over there, and then they ended up catching a project with them, and then they referred me on to them. Um
Nice.
so yeah, it just
Yeah.
big lucky something that just came through, but you
And,
know,
and speaking of Slug, I love Bosco. Like
yeah,
that
she's cool.
is my my shawty.
Man,
Like I love Bosco. She's one of the most creative people like naturally that I've ever met. She does 1,000 things at one time and is a mom on top of that. And I just wonder every time I see her and like her posting something new, I'm like, how the fuck do you have all this time? Like, where does this come from? Like, you're cooking meals, you're like an on ambassador, you're running a whole business, a whole production studio, and like, and your kid seems healthy and happy and together. Like, how the fuck are you creating this life?
she's not sleeping.
But
Something's
she doesn't
getting
sleep.
sacrificed.
I'm
It's the
telling you,
sleep.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. But I will say though, like seeing people like that make it happen made me be like, oh, I could do this shit.
I think it's
You know,
possible.
I just gotta, yeah, you just gotta lock in. It's just like, how do I create that? Like seeing people do it is more like, oh, okay. I don't know how exactly she's getting it done, but obviously it's possible.
Yeah.
So,
It's like that healthy comparison. I've always seen it like that. I know a lot of people say like, "Oh, don't compare yourself to others and stuff," but I've
true.
always seen it. I've always seen comparison as this is what a human is capable of, instead of it being
Yeah.
like, "Look at how much better they are than I am," or "I suck." It's more
Yeah.
so like, "Oh, they can do this. That means I can do this." I mean, if
Yes,
because ain't nothing different about them except they put in the work, they put in the time, but it's
exactly.
possible.
Yeah. I feel like you got to be able to see that though. Like as a creative, like you got to be able to like make, and I don't even want to say look up to people, but like just see the possibilities. Like you got to be able to see what's out here that's that's doable. Like even for me, like doing tattooing and like trying to cross over into like public art or like trying to like blur those lines, I feel like there's only certain people that I have seen like really capitalize off the shit. And that's fucking Charity. Charity, you know, she was tattooing for a long, long time. And then now she's just fucking busting out the gate with
Mm-hmm.
all the shit, you know? And she's on the like, from what I'm understanding, she's getting them just from proposals, like writing good proposals, making sure that like the people, like you got the right CV or you got the right, you know, resume or whatever the fuck. She's figured out the language for it to like really fucking go for her. And I'm like, oh, okay, so the lines can be blurred. It can be done. You know, like tattooing isn't like your end all be all. Like it can really be more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. There's like a I think especially with the proposals, um it's I think it's not as much competition as people think because it's so much work a lot of times. People be too lazy to put the proposal together. And so a lot of times like you got a good chance just by like completing the
Yeah.
proposal.
Yes. Now I won't lie, I've gotten a lot of no's,
Oh yeah.
but I've gotten a lot of no's, and I don't like no's. I don't do very well with those.
Mhm.
But I went to I did this what's it called? Um I did this cohort with the Beltline, and they broke everything down to make it so that you can make it so that you have the knowledge of what to do for these proposals. And I guess every year they're going to be getting like a new collection of artists and teaching them the way, because they were having the same problem where like people just didn't know how to win an RFP or like win a proposal or anything. Like they just weren't getting the numbers that they needed, you know, and just ended up hiring like the same type of people as what I saw. Um, or like the same type of artists that could actually do the proposal work. Um, so they put together this cohort to teach people how to make it happen, which I'm super grateful for because a lot of the shit that they taught, I had no clue existed.
Mm.
Like, I had no clue what a CV was. I had no clue that there was like a certain time when you should turn in your proposals. You know, like you shouldn't wait till the last day at 11:58 to turn it in. You know, you know, with your heart beating and sweating real hard just to make sure that the button goes through. You know, like people look at all of that. And I didn't know that until I took that class. I was just like, fuck it. As long as I get it in, it'll be looked at. But apparently, like that knocks off some points for you. Um, yeah. And I mean, maybe not for everybody, but for some of the people that they like introduced us to um, that looks over these proposals that's on these boards, you know, they were telling us all the little nooks and crannies of what it is to be, you know, to win a proposal. And a lot of the shit I would have never known. So I think that that's a beautiful thing that the Beltline is doing, just to try to like get the people going.
Mhm.
Um, and I just randomly like I want to paint on the Beltline so bad, but I never get picked. So I just started going to all the meetings and like shaking hands with people, be like, "Hello, my name is," you know,
Yeah.
"Can I kiss your baby?" You know,
Right. Please help me out.
yeah, like what's happening here? Like, how do I make it happen? But like, you know, like apparently they're really nice people. And if you play the game and you know, you get in where you fit in, like eventually they're gonna start fucking with you. Um, I don't know when that eventually will start for me, but hopefully soon. Because I feel like I'm learning things like I feel like I'm learning a lot of things that I've never had access to before. Um, so it's becoming pretty beneficial.
Mhm. I'm wanting to ask more about that too. Especially when you said, I've wanted to paint so bad and I kept getting denied, so I just started going and shaking hands. That's very real. And I used to
Yeah,
do that in the beginning, when I first started coming around into the city. I wanted to be a part of these shows. I wanted to be at the Drinking Doodles. I wanted to be at, the different events. And like nobody knew who I was. And so
okay.
I just started going. And I remember I interned for ABV for a couple of months, and I was able to, that was when I met like the bulk of everybody in the city
Yeah,
at that time. But even then, as an intern, I'm like at all the events. I could have went home, but I stayed, and I'm like talking to
yeah,
everybody. And like um I don't think people understand how important that can be sometimes, where it's
yeah,
definitely possible to do it just through like sheer work and like social media alone, or you could just be that nice, and then you putting out work that's so good people start reaching out. But for people who are local and are right down the street from places that have these types of events, like how important is that kind of stuff, like are there any tips that you can have that you can share with people going to an event? Say like, I remember the first time I went to um a City of Ink show. It was City of Ink 10, and I wanted to like, I didn't know what to do. I was like, I just want to like be a part of this, but
right.
everybody's just kind of everywhere,
Already do.
and it's like I don't, okay, I see this person right here, I see this great artist, but like I don't know what to say. They don't even know I exist. Well, how do I even, what do I do,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like I still am very puzzled on that. Like I have been in this city my entire life and I've never been invited to the ABV shows. I've never been invited to a drink and doodle. I don't know how to bust that bubble. And sometimes I like sometimes, but I also I will say, and I don't go to the shows. I don't participate in those things most of the time because I'm tattooing,
Mm-hmm.
So like I work on Saturdays and those are my longer days. So it's hard to intermingle in that way, but it is absolutely beneficial. I only win with the Beltline because their shit is early in the fucking morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I can get my ass up, drop my kid off at school and go over there. But like the late night things, I just can't exist in the realm that way. Um, but it's it's it is beneficial, but it's hard to do. Like, cause I always feel so awkward being like, "Hi, I'm Debbie. I do da 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 da," and like giving the 10-second spill. But it's like there's an art to that. Like, I have one friend that can just like meet people and become fast friends like that, and I just, I thrive in mystery. Like I like to be silent,
Mm-hmm.
like scope things out before I get the chitter chatting. But it is super helpful for you to like learn how to network, um, and learn what or like how to spark up those small conversations. I still struggle with it, but I totally agree that it's necessary.
Are there any other parts that have like that make the experience like more difficult, just being a woman in that space?
Uh, it used to. It used to be weird as fuck. Like men would be very odd. Um, More like men would try to be like very hypersexual or like try to make everything emotional. Like if I was to get into something with another one of the girls in the studio, they would be like, "Oh, y'all are just catfighting," and I'd be like, "No, she actually shorted me money."
Mm-hmm.
So like it's not a cat fight. It's like pay me, you know.
Yeah.
So So it's like, yeah, men definitely try it. Um, but I feel like I've been fortunate enough to never be afraid to speak my mind, I think. And sometimes that's intimidating for men, and sometimes men have a hard time with that. But other times, majority of the times, um, men respect it and leave me be, you know? So it can be, or it used to be, a touchy place. And I say used to because I've developed and I've made my own way in my own space, and I don't have to deal with like men that I don't choose to deal with anymore. But it used to be really odd. It used to be very sexist. Um, and it might possibly still be for women that are like younger in the game, that are like searching for things, like searching for knowledge. But I think where I am, I don't really have to experience that as much anymore. Um, Luckily, because I feel like now I'm living a softer life. I used to have to be kind of like aggressive and like hard and like um, just stand my ground a lot.
Mhm.
But now I don't have to do that. I'm more gentle. I'm more like approachable. I feel like I'm more like, and I don't know if that came with the baby too, but I'm softer these days because I don't have people harassing me all the time. Like I don't have to deal with people being in the shop being weird as fuck. Uh, I don't have to deal with none of that shit anymore. So I'm able to be like gentle and soft and be a woman as much as I want to, without having to feel like I have to put on uh, a male face or a masculine energy, you
Yeah.
know?
You gotta keep the weapons around and stuff. You can put the weapons
Yeah,
down because you're
yeah.
like, you don't gotta fight no more.
I ain't got a microphone.
Yeah. So
I ain't slept on nobody in so long, which is great. I just love that growth.
man, so then what would um you said that there's a possibility maybe that like people that are or women that are younger and just don't know quite as much or just less experienced, what do you wish that that version of you, or not to say that that was you, but either women going through that time, or if you found that type of experience before, like what would you tell those people, or like how would you advise them to move through the career, through the industry?
I would say don't let anyone take you out of your character. Um, be be who you are. You know, if you're kind, if you're gentle, if you're soft spoken, be that. Like, don't allow anyone to take you out of your space just to make them feel more comfortable. Be who you are and stand on your 10. You know, um, and if that means that you have to put on a little bit of a more masculine energy, then learn that and just be
Mm,
allow yourself to gain some comfortability because it'll pay off in the long.
mm. Like protecting your
Protect your own.
uh, yeah. Mm,
Yeah, protect your mind and like lock in on the art. I feel like once I locked in on my art and like I was just drawing flash all the time and I wasn't really like dealing with like really caring what they were talking about. Like it was just like again like water on the duck's back. It's like, okay, you're talking to me crazy. That's fine. Okay. I'm like, okay, fight me.
mm.
But
There's something about
again,
having, huh?
soft. Again, I'm soft these days though.
Yeah. So there's something about like having something better to put your attention towards that can like keep you out of the mess, out of the trouble.
Yeah.
Like like what you just said there, you're like it's water off the duck's back now because I'm locked in on the art. Or even whenever you're
Yeah.
telling me about when you had your kid and like now it's about him and like certain things just don't matter anymore. And it's
Yeah.
interesting to see how like when you have like I've noticed this too, just like when you see people who get so worked up over things, or they have trouble with just like a lot of the people around them, it's like a lot of times like it would be
They not
beneficial for
focused.
them to like focus, yeah, to like focus on a specific thing, or like, start making, you know, paces towards this one thing, and the other
Okay.
things will kind of just, roll off because it's not
They'll
as
fall into
important.
place. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like once you find where you want to go, you just gotta walk that path no matter what. Like there's gonna be, that path is gonna get bumpy, it'll get shaky. Like people will try to push you off. But like as long as you know where your end point is or where you kind of want your end point, you know, because sometimes it gets a little blurry and you're like, but but as long as you kind of know where your goal is, whether that's to be a tattooer or whether that's to have 10 murals that year, or like even if it's 5 murals, you know what I'm saying? Like walking that path and knowing that nobody can deter you from that is important. Like it's really just locking yourself down to something and being and seeing it through. I don't even want to say being anything, but just seeing some shit through uh, will be will is the best way that I could say it. Like just know that there's another light. Like know that ain't the end. You know,
It's just a part
yeah.
of that process.
I
it's
was
not going to
part of
be
the journey.
great all the time. I think
Uh,
that's if they can tailor their expectations for that, like just expecting it to
yeah,
be some mess from time to time,
yeah,
then they can kind of just style over those hurdles a lot easier.
yeah. And like not allowing yourself to get stuck, because sometimes people want you to be right where they are. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people are on their path and they're stuck, so they want to grab you and attach you to their trauma. But you got to allow yourself not to uh, like to really have tunnel vision. Like I feel like writing goals every year, like not to be cliche, like, but whether it's on your birthday or whatever, like writing goals every year and then really like lining them up month to month helps a lot. Helps me a lot because it's like, okay, yeah, I got a little deterred this month, but what am I working on for next month? Okay, yeah, okay, I got that. Let me work to do that. Like just making goals, setting a stride, setting your own pace for the year, or even if your birthday's in December, like setting it up for December to December or November to November, whatever. Uh, Giving yourself a line to walk is helpful, uh, and keeps you focused because people gonna try it. I mean, there's always going to be a bump. There's always going to be some people that want to see you exactly where they are and don't want to see you any higher than them. It's like
Yeah.
crabs in a bucket, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so, but you just got to know that your purpose is higher. Even if you don't have a clear vision of it, just saying that, like, my purpose is higher than this, like, and I don't know cocky shit, but just knowing that you can continue to elevate.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
just believing that like you're better than the mess. Not even that you're better than this person, but just better than like the mess that you're a part of with whatever's going on between,
yeah.
you know.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Because there's always a light. Like no matter what you're doing, like whether it's dark as fuck, you don't hit rock bottom, like whatever. Because of course there's those moments. Uh, but once you hit the ground, you can only get up, right? Like you gotta keep it moving.
Yeah.
So
Mm. Interesting stuff right there. Cause I mean that's true. It reminds me of the I always think about like the yin yang in this because it's like you have like the light and then a little bit of dark, and then the other side you have a
mhm.
dark and a little bit of light. And it's just a reminder that, it's never all this. Even like on
No,
the best day, it could be, you just got the greatest this and you got the best that. And then there's always a little something like, dang, but I
yeah,
wish
then
that
you
it was
might drop your
this.
ice cream cone.
Yep. But
You
then
know?
like on the other side of it, it could be like, I mean, the most terrible, devastating day, but there's always like a little something that you can see, or like, if you can just kind of tug on that, and it fluctuates. It never
Yeah.
stays in one spot. It always is like changing.
Yeah, I know for me, like when things get dark, I start seeing, I start seeing like angel numbers, like 222, 333, like randomly, just like driving and shit. And that'll be my little light in the darkness. I'll be like, oh shit, all right, something going on. Oh shit, I seen another one. you know?
Yeah.
And once you get your mind like moving, like, oh shit, some good shit about to happen, like I can see it. It's like once you start telling yourself that, then that's what's starting to be attracted to you. Like once you can start like being like, oh yeah, shit'll get better. Oh yeah, shit wild right now, goddamn. But you know, you start seeing little things, whether it be like a ladybug or some shit, like, and I'm only saying these things because those are the things for me. Like, so it'll be a ladybug, then it'll be angel numbers, or like, you know, lately my kid has just started saying I love you because I say it to him all the time. So he'd be like, oh, I love you, mommy. And I'd be like, damn it, it's fine.
Yeah.
You're right. I do love you. You love me? Shit, I'm good.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
give me little things,
Yeah.
You gotta
Well,
look for them. These are dark.
I wasn't I wasn't very big on those at first, and then I met my girlfriend, and she's really big on the angel numbers and just seeing
Hey,
signs from the universe that things are like just that things will happen, whether it's good or bad. Just kind of tuning in to nature and to life because
yeah,
it'll talk to you.
it will. It will. If you allow it. You gotta be open to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but the law of attraction is real. So once you start getting those little positive things in your brain, like, oh shit, some good shit could start happening. Oh shit, I'm seeing these numbers. Oh damn, I just found $20 on the floor, or I just found a nickel on head.
Mm-hmm.
Like some shit, anything, like it starts to attract that goodness to you. Like really your mind is your best creation. Like if you can get your mind together, like when things are like wow, like for me, like during postpartum, it was a really crazy time. Like the first like year of my son being here was like insane. Like I felt like I was not myself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but like I was able, luckily I had my kid later. So like I knew who I was as a woman. I knew like what I was able to create. I knew what I could do. I just had to get back to her. So sometimes like talking to yourself and like being being gentle with yourself and allowing yourself like to have those little moments or shines of light, you know, to like just small things like reflections of light from the window or like catching a rainbow, like little shit like that'll bring like more positivity to you than you could ever think,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, and I think that's I used to think it was funny. I used to watch my grandparents like just look out the window and stuff like that, or they'll just like sit and just be. He, my granddad used to always say he was meditating, and he would just sit and just be. And I used to think it was so silly because as a kid you be on like just trying to
Yeah,
do.
10,000.
Yeah, and so like you could never just sit and just look and meditate. Like no, but
No,
but the older I get, like the more that it just kind of makes sense what he was doing. Just being able to just kind of like just um having time to like digest a lot of the things that's going on or just the things that you see is like super
mhm,
important. And
it
I
is.
think he was giving himself that legitimate time each day to just like run through everything that he's been through and just things that he's seen and like thinking about what it means and then letting that kind of guide him through to the next step.
Yes. Meditation is real, dog. Like, even if it's 5 minutes, that should have changed your whole trajectory of the day. Like, I'm I'm telling you that meditation got me through. I'm not lying. It's been many a night where I was like, what the fuck is happening? Why is my life spinning like this? But I sit, I listen, just being open and listening to whatever the universe is talking about or trying to get you to see, because sometimes you can have so much going on in your life, like outwardly, and you not like taking that moment just to pause and listen to where you need to be going,
Mm-hmm.
or listen to ideas that could come to you. Um, so that taking that moment, like 10 minutes out of the day, like I wake up at 6, which is crazy. I never thought I would say that. But I wake up at like 6 and I'd be like, thank you. Shit, thank you. Appreciate it for even giving me the day. Like, gosh, you didn't have to, you know,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But that little moment of gratitude like extends and makes the day a little better. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because 7:30, my boy be up with a vengeance, and I'm
Yep.
like, oh, well, no more time.
Yep. Choosing violence.
Yeah,
Hitting the big red button at 7.
instantly.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, I think that kind of thinking it sets your mind in a good spot too. Are you the type to like whenever you get up, like do you like stay away from your phone or do you look at your phone immediately?
So I'm working on myself.
All right.
So sometimes if I know that I have a post to make, I'll get up and I'll start editing a post or something. But I've been like trying to been trying to reshape my time in the mornings just because I don't get that much time. So I try to spend it off my phone with my kid, eating breakfast, making sure we getting ourselves together. Um, so I try to stay on my phone as much as possible unless it's business. Uh, but it's hard because I be feeling like I miss shit, and I like the news.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm such an old lady in my spirit woman. Uh, I
Man.
get up and hit the news app real quick and be like, God damn it, and then throw the whole shit off. So
Yeah. That's why
I'm
it,
still
it's
ready.
it's interesting how that be. Like even seeing, um, I mean, not only just from what you're seeing or what you think about, because if you're thinking about something, it'll kind of color the rest of, at least for
Yes,
like maybe the next couple of hours, maybe not the rest of the day, but for the next couple of
yes,
hours in your day, it can kind of like stain that, and
it can.
it's like, but then you can also like stain it with like a good thing too, where it's like, okay, I had this positive experience, or I let myself figure something out here just in silence, and then it helps me kind of last through this time. But then even like from a person like a productivity standpoint, I heard that it was kind of like a it's kind of like with your taste. So if you try to have like tea and just honey, right? And you're like sipping green tea for just the honey, and that's like the first thing you have in the morning. You might be able to taste the honey, but
Yeah,
like if you get up in the morning and then you eat like a handful of Skittles, and then you try to
yes.
drink the tea, you're not tasting no honey in
Not
that.
taste. No, yeah,
And like I
I get
think
what you
that's what'll
mean.
happen when you're on your phone and like
Yeah,
you're watching like memes or reels or
yeah.
YouTube, whatever, and you're
Important. So,
yeah, and so then it's like now it's hard to get up and do dishes because it's not as fun
yes,
as YouTube. And like, man, I've been trying to get out of that because that damage is like that's tough.
yeah. Addiction, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's hard to I literally have to have my Instagram app can't be on the front of my phone. I gotta tuck it in the back with the other apps that I don't use, so that I take by the time I'm looking for it, I'm like, you know what? I don't need it, you know. So I try to hide the things that are that I know are like pure distraction for me. Because I do have like I have more time than I think when I'm not scrolling,
Sure.
Like if I spend an hour um on my phone just looking at stupid shit, that might be the only hour that I have for myself that day. So I just have to be more I have to be more disciplined about my time management, and just in my all around life all day, every day, because I don't get that time back anymore. That's really the only thing about having kids or even having a dog. Like you gotta take that time for them animals or for those children because they're gonna remember that either your dog gonna start being mean as fuck, or your kid just gonna start having temper tantrums, whatever, however it shows up, or even just like artistically, you can kind of tell like when you ain't been on your shit as much, like when you haven't been drawing. Like I know for me, if I'm not tattooing like every other day, I feel like, why does this feel weird? Like, why am I holding this weird? Like, how do I hold this again? Like, it's like you gotta, if your muscles aren't working, then you gotta reprogram yourself, and it's just easier just to stay on task and like keep that momentum going rather than breaking it up with like all of the social media distractions or like the YouTube distractions or whatever. Um, but I've been trying to figure out the balance though, like because there has to be a balance, right? Because you got to show what you're doing as an artist. You gotta like you gotta be present on socials so people know that you alive. Especially for me because I don't really go out like that no more. Um, like I feel like socials is really the only way that people interact with me. Um, unless they pull up to the shop. Like a lot of my friends just show up here. Like they be like, "Oh, girl, I saw your location."
So we're here now. You want something from Zaxby's or?
Right.
Yep.
So, but it's like you just have to have the balance. Like I'm trying to figure out the balance of it all. To like
Mm-hmm.
show up on socials, show up for my kids, show up for my friendships,
Mm-hmm.
and be a good artist. Like,
Yeah, because they all want all the time. So it's like you only have so much to give
yeah,
out. But one thing, at least for social media, that helps for me is like scheduling the posts. Like if you take a specific time at night and then you just like, okay, I want to send this post out on Tuesday at 12. I want to send this, and you can dress up the whole post. You can add the music and tag people and everything, write the caption, and then just schedule it to send for like
and you
Tuesday
don't have to go
afternoon.
back and look at it.
No. Mm-mm. Like you can it's almost like how you can schedule an email. Like you can have the email send off at like
Mm.
8 a.m. or something, and you can do that with an Instagram post. And so then like say you take your time like late at night when everybody gone to sleep, right before you go to sleep, okay, let me just send off all these scheduled posts, and then that
Yeah.
way you can just leave your phone for like a week and it
You
will
don't
still
even
be
gotta
coming up.
do nothing.
Yep.
I like that. I
Yep.
like that. I feel like somebody told me that there was an app for that. And I was just like, I'm not downloading any more apps.
No, you
But
can do
it's
that
on
straight through
Instagram.
Instagram.
Like,
Mm-hmm. Because you can do it. It's so like you go through like the post, like, and then it'll give you like your photo gallery. You pick the pictures. If you want to add filters and everything. Then like on that last screen where it's like a caption and the tags and all that stuff, it's like I forget exactly the button, but it's like on the
investigate.
bottom. It's like advanced settings or something.
Yeah. Oh, don't you worry about it. I'm gonna investigate for sure.
Yeah.
Cause yeah. Cause that would be great. Like if I could just spend a day doing that and adding things. Okay, yeah.
Yep. And
Cause
then you can literally
I mean,
I don't know
I
if you can do it
suck at
with
this.
stories. I don't know if you can do it with the stories, but with the posts at least, you can set up posts to go like all week and then just like leave like you can just not be on the app and then you come back next week
And then
and
boom.
everything's been posted, everybody's unliked and commented or whatever, already.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Hmm.
like that. Yeah. Cause I'm one of those ones I post and I get off the app.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, do what you will.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Instagram gods, do your thing.
Yep.
Like I don't
Yep.
want to look at it.
That's why
So
I'm so
yeah.
terrible at like responding to comments on people. I feel kind of bad because people will like they'll put stuff and it's like sometimes I'll go back and I'll respond to each one, but a lot of
Yeah.
times I just post the work and I go and I'm out.
Yeah. Same.
And so like it's hard for me to like because then by the time I come back, it's like, a bunch of comments and I'm like, all right, I don't want to respond to some of y'all and not everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come back when I have time for everybody. And then as time
I
never
be thinking
comes.
like, I respond to some people and then I'd be like, I know this is getting on people's nerves. Like I don't wanna like bombard people with a bunch of responses because everybody gets a notification once you're tagged or once you comment on it or some shit. So I was like, damn, I don't want to get on everybody's nerves. But like I do want people to know that I appreciate the love, but I'm like, how does one do so?
Mm,
Without looking like an asshole and not replying to everybody. But I don't know. Sometimes I just reply to the people that talk to me for real, like that talk to me consistently on there. Um, and then I just leave it at that. And then I like everything else.
Yeah, and at least that way, like they know, like, oh, they seen it, like
Yeah.
they enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so,
Okay. She's
mhm.
yeah. Yeah.
It'd be like
Wow.
that, you know. That's
Everything.
it's a game, man. The whole social media, like especially with Instagram, I don't I keep Instagram because it's like it's very important for the business and things, but it's not very
Right.
enjoyable like anymore.
Right.
And the
So how do you
algorithms
feel
keep
about
things
like
so.
are
Mhm.
you like are you like trying to switch over into the Twitch lane? Do you like Twitch better than like anything else? Or like how are you feeling over here?
So with Twitch, I enjoy that so I got into streaming because my girlfriend streams and I
Right.
like that she decided like, hey, I'm gonna do this. And I watched every single stream she did over the course of like a month and a half. More people would just trickle in slowly and
Yeah.
slowly. I got
Is
three
she an artist
followers.
as well?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she
Okay.
paints, she roller skates, and she plays games on Twitch. But I think she's about to
Okay.
start doing artwork and stuff too. But
She
she
sounds
just
like my kind of girl.
yeah. I'm surprised y'all haven't met. Yeah, she came around for Ford Warrior and stuff too. But
Okay.
um,
Yeah. Warrior
y'all
is
gotta
such
meet
a
one of
crazy.
these. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
y'all gotta meet one of these days. But
Yeah. Because I love to skate. I'm a skater.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm from the A, baby. I feel like anybody from the A can skate.
That's what
You
people
got to.
say.
It's like a
That's
rite of passage.
that's how it be. But a lot of fans, a lot of people in there to be rough, man. And even me, like I started and I was bad, but I've gotten a lot better. But there was
Okay.
definitely a time where I did not skate that well. But I've
Yeah.
gotten a lot
But
better.
are you from here too?
Hmm. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
I'm like Stone Mountain. That's basically Atlanta.
Okay.
But
Yeah, no, that ain't. Yeah.
but yeah, just watching her tune in. Um, I mean, every other day for like a month and a half, and you're seeing the community grow, and you're seeing people like support, and
Yeah.
there was just something like refreshing about it, where it wasn't a like. Of course, there's a numbers element where like you want to see how many people are watching. You want to get to a certain number of followers to get
Right.
to affiliate, but it was just cool because you really got to build a community and you got to engage with them at the same time. So it's not like when you're just watching like a reel where it's just everything's already cut up, edited, and done. It's like
Yeah.
if you want to, you can say hey, and like they'll see it and they'll say hey back, or y'all are making jokes as we're playing the game or whatever. And there's
Yeah.
something about that was really fun. And I was like, man, that's really cool. I want to try doing that myself. And so I started playing games and doing some artwork too, but I'd had this idea of this podcast for the longest. And so I'm like, I want to do this. This will be like probably if I'm not as consistent with the games or the art, this will be the thing that I'm like,
Yeah.
this is
Hell yeah.
the one that I want to keep consistent. But yeah, Twitch is cool. And I think also having the longer form content helps too, because she watches a lot of streamers, and so sometimes she might come to my house or I'll go to her house, and like she's falling asleep watching a streamer online, and like
Yeah.
I might be drawing in the back, and I'm just hearing this streamer, and that before I wasn't really watching streamers like that, but then I'm
Yeah.
hearing it, and it's like it's actually kind of funny, or like the game they're actually really good at it or whatever, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I can see why it'd be soothing to just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
listen. Even though the dude's like yelling and cussing, going crazy in the game, it's just something about it that's just like I'm just chilling, listening to this,
Yeah.
and just having a video that's like an hour or so long, and you can just like I can literally just pull my iPad out and be like working on something and just
Yeah.
having it in the back, and being able to do that, making that I think was really cool. Like I've never been on the reels and the TikToks. Like I tried the TikTok thing just a little bit.
Yeah.
I
TikTok
tried the reels.
confusing.
Yeah, it's just I don't like it. It's too quick. It's too like I don't know what to make in 10 seconds that'll
Exactly.
that'll that'll I have too much to say about what I just made. I can't condense it down to just this. So like I want it to
I'm
be
the
something that's
opposite. Like, I never have anything to say about what I'm making. I'm just
Mm.
like, just look, don't ask me. I'm just doing it because I like it. Like, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's cool though.
Yeah.
Somebody was telling me, like telling me that I should get on Twitch, and this was years ago. Like we were on FaceTime, me and this guy, and we were like, I was just drawing while he was talking and playing music, and he was like, "You should do this on Twitch," and I was like, "What is that?" And then I started seeing like people start streaming like Kai Sanat and like all those people, and I was like, "What the fuck is
What is
happening?"
all this?
Like, it's like it's so many things. And then one of my friends ended up being like a set designer for him for one of his streams, and I was like, he needs a set designer.
Yeah.
What are they doing on these streams for them to be that long and that intricate? You know?
Yeah. His stuff is pretty like he a lot of people call him like iCarly in real life, you know, because he just has so many random things and like brings on famous people and all these different things. So he's
That's
really like that.
really what it is. I
Yeah.
never.
Yeah. So it's just he's just playing the game a little differently.
He
I mean
is.
he's
And he's doing such a good job at it. Like he's so positive. Like he's never on some lame shit.
yeah.
Like it's always like very funny. Um, it's always very funny. And I really think like him and Kevin Hart are like son and father.
They're like they have some kind of link. They're not just friends, man. There's blood in there somewhere.
Like something going on.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're a
But
little too close.
too comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Too comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's
yeah, that's I guess I figure, you know, if I had such a hard time doing the short form content, you know, why not try going the other way and
yeah.
making just like streams like this, like the podcast, or even just doing sometimes I'll jump on here and just do like colors for a commission or do a sketch for a painting or something like that. And people
So, like, do you
love
time
artists
it
who do that.
out? Like, is it like how you had like a time for this? Like, is it always timed, or do you just jump on it at any time and people get like notification?
Yeah, everybody they have to turn them off. So once you follow somebody, they automatically get signed up for like when they go live, you get a notification. But but if you can turn them off because sometimes like if you follow a ton of people, you'll be getting
Um,
hit every day, like all the time when
and
somebody goes live.
this is on like Discord or it's on Twitch.
So we're
You
talking
see, I'm
right
trying to
now.
learn, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking right now through Discord.
Okay.
That's how we're doing the call, but then this whole thing is just getting live streamed to Twitch. So I could turn the stream off right now. We could still talk. It would be off stream. Or
Um,
like or if I hung up with you, I would still be on stream. We just wouldn't talk anymore. It's two different programs.
okay. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I get it. Get it. I get
But
it.
it was like a little bit of a learning curve. Like whenever I got the computer and like all the programs and the different it was a whole journey trying to get it together. A lot of people helped out along the way, but it's cool.
It's good.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's the beautiful thing about like I feel like the arts community in Atlanta in general. Like once you're in, you're in. You know what I mean by that? Like
Mm-hmm.
people start looking out for you, people like start sending you gigs. Like you really gotta like it's really important to have a good foundation with the community. Like just being nice to people around you goes a really long way because you never know when that dot will connect again. Uh, so I've been learning. Well, I will say, like in my younger years, I was kind of abrasive, but like since I've hit maturity and adulthood and motherhood, I've become a lot more softer and I'm like more open to people. And it's been really helpful. Like just being kind can get you a lot of places in this city. And I don't know if it's just because it's the South or like what it is, but you get more bees with honey here than vinegar for sure.
Mm. Interesting. I've never heard of that one. What?
What?
What did you say? You get more bees than honey than vinegar?
Oh, with honey. Yeah, you get more bees with honey than vinegar.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that one.
My granny used to say shit like that to me all the time, and I never forget them. I don't know why.
Yeah, I
Hell,
enjoy
she
stuff
said,
like that because my grandparents, I mean, they were very southern as well, and so I get all the little analogies and the just the sayings, the twang and the voice. That's like, especially now, like they're both gone. So like anytime I hear stuff like that, it just helps me it helps me remember them. So I enjoy it
yeah,
extra now. But
yeah,
this is cool. This is cool.
yeah.
So um so is there anything that we missed? Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you feel um should be covered? Or like what have we stepped over along this
Um,
path?
I'm like, we touched on a little bit of everything. Um, uh, I am available for jobs, and I am willing to be hired
You
to do
know,
work.
that was
Um,
something that I wanted to ask.
yeah,
Um how did your first mural come along? I feel like no, like I haven't met anybody in the industry yet who has purposefully gone to the mural. It's always like this just kind of happened and I'm here now. Did this
yeah.
How was your first mural? How did that go?
Um, so who let me do that? This what God, what I cannot think of his name. Jamal. Jamal, he was running Studio 94 off of People's, is it People Street? You know, down there by Georgia State, like where it was like that little bar in the cut by the music school, and it was like it's lofts upstairs. He had this huge loft up there that he would throw parties. And I went to the party one time, one of my homegirls introduced us, and he was like, "Oh," at that time I hadn't really started painting murals, but I was like telling people that I was, because I was painting really big, like on canvas, but I was like, I could do a mural. Basically, I'm a muralist. Who cares? I'm gonna just start saying it to people. Um, and I got a job. Like he was like, "You make murals?" I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." He's like, "Cool, come over here and paint this mural on my window." And I did, and it took me so long. Like it had to take me at least 2 weeks or like a week and a half. It took me a long ass time for a very small wall. But he was so patient and he was so nice. I think he realized that I had never done it before after a while.
He's like, oh, okay.
Guessing. And of course I had like, I had painted like throwies and like pieces and shit, but like never anything like illustrative, right? So I kind of knew what was going on, but he just let me kind of freak it. And it turned out really good, actually. I was really surprised. But it just kind of happened. And that was like my first smaller one. My first bigger one was the same thing. I was at Studio 7 on Marietta Street and they were having a little mixer. And then you go around and you do your introductions and shit. And I was like, yeah, I'm a tattoo artist and a muralist. And this girl was like, you're a muralist? I was like, yeah. She was like, this project coming up. It's a 40-foot wall. Like, could you do it? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, of course. She was like, okay, great. Like he doesn't have a big budget, but I thought like, I think he told me like $2,000. And I was like, wow, yeah, that sounds great. 30 feet? No problem. I can do it. I was in that parking lot crying, like boo hoo crying, trying to get that stuff up there.
Dang. Oh.
Crying, but he had no clue because he was never there. I finished it in like 6 days, like nonstop, like just going on and on and on. I had like so many people coming to help me. My mentor was there helping me, talking me through it. Um, but it was God, it was a fucking tragedy. Um, but that was another thing that just happened just off of me like speaking it and being like, I am this person. Yes, I do murals, you know. Yes, I can, you know, yes, I can, even though I really couldn't. But just off of me believing in myself, like that shit just happened. I and I mean, and I got hella jobs after that though. Like after those that big one went up, I got I got lots of looks. I
Really?
got I got lots of shit, like a lot of installations. I feel like that's when shortly after I got that Nike gig for the Super Bowl, then I got one music fest. I got a bunch of shit just off of believing in myself, I guess, being at the right place at the right time, like talking to the right people and not being afraid. I feel like you just gotta goddamn stand on business. Be like, yeah, sure. Even if you ain't never done that shit, yeah, I could goddamn figure
And,
it out.
and life will try you too. Like, okay, you can figure it out, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, here you
And
go.
I'm not gonna lie, I just knew that man was not about to give me that wall. I just knew it. Um, and I was like, this nigga gonna know I'm a fraud. Like he gonna know I he gonna know I ain't got, but boy, I got them. I started doing some Googling, asking people around, you know, like, you know, hey, where you get your lift from? Like how you operate that shit. Like just
Yeah.
just figuring shit out like as the day would come, you know. Uh, but it worked out. I mean, it worked out. And I took that little money, I went to Complex Con and fucked it off. I spent all that little money. And then it so happened, like as I was standing in line to get merch, the guy who I painted the mural for walked up on me. He was like, "Oh shit!" He's like, what you here for?" He's like, "You know what? I owe you a tip." Gave me like $800, and I was like,
Fire. Fire. Man, that's
"Crazy."
cool.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
cool.
just off of believing in myself, shit,
Is there
making shit.
is that wall still up?
No, it's gone. They
Oh,
sold that building.
dang. I want to see it. I'm sure you have pictures in there somewhere,
I
um,
do somewhere,
in the archives
somewhere.
somewhere.
You
Okay.
know how like you look back at things and you be like, this might not have been it. I probably could have done that better, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But it wasn't bad. It just was like I would have done it so much differently now. Um, I would have done it a lot differently. But it looked good.
Mm-hmm.
And people loved it. I mean, it was huge. And a lot of people like it was like a pop-in little club for a minute. So a lot of like people started taking pictures in front of it.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, it was sick. Like it was a thing, and I was grateful for it because it really like it was like that one was really a launch pad for like all the other pieces. Uh,
Mm,
so I'm grateful
interesting.
for that.
Yeah, I think um for one, I like whenever one of my favorite things is seeing when the mural has kind of integrated into its space. Like whenever like they'll kind of stop business or they'll kind of keep people away from this area or whatever. They'll move all the furniture. Go ahead and do your thing. And then you finish and then you might come back later like in a month or two and then you'll see it like the furniture's back in front of it or you see people around it. Seeing the mural in its home like that is like one of my favorite feelings. And
Yeah,
then um it's cool that you got like a bunch of work off of that because anytime I would do a mural, like I don't think I had any mural that just like started just like the work started just coming right after. It's always been
mhm,
like I get one and then I get another and then I get another. It's not like it was this one and then everything changed. Nah, I
yeah.
haven't had that one. But
I really
yeah.
feel like it was only like that because of the location that it was in.
Mm,
Like it was in the middle of the city, like off Trinity. So like when you would come off Peter Street, you would see it.
mm-hmm.
Like you couldn't miss it. Like if you was downtown. So it
Hmm.
it pushed it. I mean, it did. But I definitely would have done it so differently now. Oh my God. I look back at it and I'm like, I don't really have to go in there. That don't have to go in the 10. in the 10 what is it? People ask you for 10 things of your work,
Oh,
or
the examples, like 10 work
yeah, 10
samples and stuff.
examples of your work. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, oh, get down. That'd be that.
They don't have to know about that
I'll
one per
take like
se.
a couple. Do you feel like your paintings have like evolved? Do you feel like your artwork has evolved over time? Do you see like yourself like growing as an artist in each through each project?
Mm, I think that I don't see it until I look back at old stuff. I don't really see
Yeah.
it in real time. Um, but I think it's funny. It's funny. I was just thinking about this. Um, so like each time I'm doing something, I try, like I literally give it like my all every single time.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking like, okay, this is like the best I can do. And like I'm usually pretty proud of what I made. But then I look back at old work and I'm like, whew, I thought that was fine. I thought that was the joint. And it's like, bruh, why did nobody fight me over this right here? And like, how they let me get away with this? It's funny. Or even just along the way, meeting people who gave me little tips and tricks, especially like with spray can techniques and stuff like that. And it's kind of nice. I'm at a place now where like I can do certain things whenever I'm painting, and like I don't even really think about it, but it's nice because I remember wanting to be there. Like I remember like
Yeah.
seeing somebody do the stuff I do now, and I'm like, they're not even thinking about it, and it's so tough for
Yeah.
me. This is some bullshit, and so it's cool to be able to just be like pulling lines exactly like how I want it to, or
Yeah.
like being able to pull this gradient or whatever, and I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just flowing, and I'm like, that's nice. That's a nice place to be. But
Yeah. That's the
yeah,
most beautiful thing about just art in general, not even just tattooing, but like art, public art, canvas work, anything, like watching yourself grow and become this person that you like kind of always knew you could be, but like seeing, like especially when you look back, like seeing yourself growing in that way is like one of the best feelings ever. It's like, oh God, thank God I don't do it like that anymore, you know.
yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad, like thank God for growth, like
Yeah.
yeah.
But you know, another thing that I've noticed too, this one's a little newer, is I'm starting to try to incorporate more of like myself. As the creator of Adventure Time said, he says, I'm adding the poetry to the work now. So like before he just wanted to make like the kid and the dog and do silly stuff or whatever, for that show. But then over the course of the show, it gets like pretty deep, and they go through they get to like some crazy points.
Yeah,
And
they do.
he was like, I just wanted to make something silly first, and I can add the poetry later. That was his like
Yeah,
his like quote for it. And I think that's what before I would just draw a lot of like just cool stuff, but it was just cool stuff. Like it was like, okay, I'm gonna just draw this like dragon, I'm gonna draw this tiger, I'm gonna draw this big koi fish or whatever. That's cool. But then people are just like, that's dope. And that's
yeah,
it. Like there was nothing else to it. People were just like, they could recognize skill, but they're like, that's dope. And
yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. But then I found myself like seeing people connect with work that wasn't as technically sound as mine. And people are loving this work even more. And I'm thinking that like, it's all about technique and like execution and like cleanest lines, best shapes. And I'm like, but then you got people who got like
A
work that doesn't
story.
even look like that, and it yeah and it
Yeah,
hits and it connects. And so I'm like, I want some of that. And so
yeah,
being able to like pull from my experiences and like how I feel about things or topics, and being able to like pull that into the work is a new thing. And it's cool because I get to play around with it. Like I've worked on skill so long, and now I get to work on substance. And so being able to see myself incorporate that slowly has been pretty cool. Like
yeah.
I just did a post recently up in Chattanooga for Burning Bridges. I did a scorpion, and it was supposed to nod to all the times where you've been like dissatisfied or disappointed, and it's like a stinging feeling. I tell people it like it stings, it burns inside, and
Yes.
it's like a scorpion. It like that sting. It's like, ugh. And so it's like it's still like just a scorpion. But then it's like if you can feel the dissatisfaction in it, I'm starting to incorporate it slowly, but I'm like adding the poetry into it slowly. That's what
Yeah,
I guess
I
that's
like
the
that.
evolution.
I like that. I feel like that's what you're supposed to do as an artist. Like eventually you have to start telling your story.
Yeah.
Like people want to know it. Like they don't care if it's dope. They want to know more about you and more about like what motivates you to be this person. Because a lot of people are in a space where they want to be more creative, or they 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 can't figure out how to find their story, so they're looking for other people to like interpret it for them through art, especially like when we're in times like this where things get really crazy and like um you know no one's really satisfied with their lives and things are kind of hard. Art fills that space for people. That's why like Renaissance comes after depressions. Like people are looking for artists to tell that story, or even if it's your personal story, it's like it might resonate with someone else for sure.
Mm, yeah.
So
Yeah, that's like it's something about that, man, being able to connect over just shared experiences. Whether even if it's bad stuff, people I think especially bad stuff people like
especially that
enjoy.
stuff, people tap
Mhm.
in.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe because it's more energy to it, or like depending on the colors that you use, if it's lots of reds and like oranges and like passionate colors, you know what I'm saying? People are drawn to that shit. So, you know, but
Mhm.
I think that's like the next level is like learning, like you said, to add your own poetry to it, to add your story. Like that's, yeah. I think that's where I am is like maybe not in my murals as much because I'm still like doing work for the man, No, I'm joking. But like, I'm following their guidelines of that. But like as far as my tattoo flash or like the art that I'm creating for tattoos these days is more of my story and like what I see Black people to be, or what I see art as, through my lens. And I think people are appreciating that more.
Mm. What do you hope
For
that
sure.
people take away from like what are you hoping people learn about Black people through your work?
That we can do and be anything. I feel like sometimes people put us in boxes. Oh, Black people can be rappers. Oh, Black people can be only this or only that, but we're so multifaceted and undeniably talented, like in any realm. It's hard to make it so that we're just in one box, you know? Like a lot of shit wouldn't be if it weren't for Black people, like rock, country music, heavy metal, even. Like that has nothing to do with art, but
No, it
still,
is an art. It's
it
very
is
much
an
an art.
art. It is. It
Yeah.
is. You're right about that.
And like,
So,
yeah, I mean, we responsible for some fire stuff.
so much
Like,
shit. Like,
like,
even like, just on regular living shit. Like, we're responsible for the civil rights movement. We're responsible for the environmental justice movement. Even like just if we're just speaking of Atlanta, like environmental justice started here because people were polluting the lakes and Black people had to do something about it,
mm,
and it started this whole movement fucking nationwide where they were trying to kill like Black communities by polluting their streams and polluting their clean water. So Black people had to do something about it and start a movement. And then boom, now here we are.
mm,
You know, years later.
did not know that.
Yeah, Atlanta's the birthplace of environmental justice.
Interesting. Hmm. That's my one of many things I learned today. That one thing you learn each day you're supposed to
Hey,
know. Got him.
hey, I'm telling you, I've been in like a lot of different like cohorts and stuff this year, just like trying to learn different shit, trying to like learn this like just the realm of being an entrepreneur. Um and it's been a lot of little gems dropped on me, Like I never knew that environmental justice started here. Like I knew civil rights started here, like I knew that, but that the environmental justice shit kind of threw me off. I was like, oh shit,
Mm.
Atlanta really does influence everything.
Yeah. I want one of those shirts so bad. I want one of
Yeah.
those shirts. And like they're never up in the shop when I look at them. I gotta
Really?
hit up the guy. Yeah. It's always like I always look at it when they're having like a collab with somebody and it's like something
Yeah.
else going on. But I want one of those shirts.
Yeah, you gotta,
So bad.
especially as a local, like you gotta have one.
Yeah, that's the shirt you wear when you go other places.
Yes, for sure. And they be
Mm-hmm.
hot, but they know it's the truth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Atlanta is such a special place. Like every time I leave, I be like, damn, I want to go. Like just being in company with so many talented Black people that know their worth and know like have all the connections. Like it's such a it's such a rare thing. Like I think sometimes I feel like we're kind of spoiled here because you see so much Black excellence and you see so much like of people just doing whatever, but in other places it's kind of hard to find us, and it's kind of hard to see that as a luxury. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for
uh,
sure. For sure. Like whenever you go to other places, it's never it's never quite the same. And it's not even to say like, better or worse is relative, but at
the
least just like
energy.
being yeah, yeah. And it's like you can go to any place in the world, but whenever I remember coming back, I don't even remember where I was coming back from, but I got in the airport and I was walking and I saw chicken bones on the ground and I was like,
Yay, back home.
I'm back. I'm back. And it's just I'm glad that Atlanta's the a kind of place that like that I can
Yo,
live and be like happy that's where I live. Some people aren't
yeah.
proud of their home like that.
No, which is so odd to me. It's like, okay, I get that you're from like Iowa or something, but like have some pride about yourself.
Because then it's like you got to have something that like you want to be proud of, not just objectively. Yeah, I'm from there, but what's here? What is this place even?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like the most Atlanta thing I've ever seen when I first moved into this studio, I had like um I have like all these windows in here. But I looked out my window one day and it was a squirrel eating a chicken wing. And I was like,
Yeah, probably a flat.
wow, that's the most Atlanta shit I've ever seen. Like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, this is exactly where I should be.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not a real
perfect.
place. It's a fictional
Yo,
place. It's like
yo, it's a
Narnia.
fictional place. It's like, that they were carnivores.
Yeah,
Like,
how they know how to eat chicken? Where they know? Where they learn that at? I guess they don't watched enough of us tear through 10, 15 pieces. You know.
dog, it had me weak. I was laughing for like 20, 30 minutes. Like, and I had to record it. I just thought it was the craziest thing. I was like,
Good.
look at you living your best life out here. I was like, yeah, this is the studio for me. This
I
is
can
where
see
I
that.
should be.
That could be something that could be like on a tattoo flash for real. Somebody would definitely
No
wear
dead
that.
ass.
Like a
No dead.
squirrel eating a chicken wing. They'll be like, let
Yes.
me get that one right here. Yeah. Yeah. That is cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Oh my God. Man.
Um there was one more question I had too. Um I know that like a lot of tattoo artists and like enthusiasts, they I remember speaking to Wes Holland about it. And I was like, how do you have like I was asking him like how does he pick his tattoos? And he's like, well, I kind of see him like moments. It's almost like scrapbooking. And
Mm.
every piece I have is like something, somebody, somewhere, something. And I wanted to know if that was something that you also is that how you treat your tattoos, and if so, are there any that are just especially important to you, or mean like everything you wouldn't trade it for anything in the world?
Mm. Um, so I guess so. I mean, I guess so. I guess everything does have a story, not intentionally, but just but it does speak to where I was at that time, or like the headspace that I was in, or like the people that I was trying to hang around, you know? So yeah, it does feel like scrapbooking. And I love West Holland. Like that's one of my inspirations as a tattooer. Like he's just such a good guy. Um, such a good guy. And super fucking talented. But yeah, it totally feels like a scrapbook. Cause like even just like looking at like the pieces that I have visible, I'm like, oh, I remember that. Like, oh, I was in New York there, or I was in Richmond here, or my friend came from Portugal here. Like, it's just like, yeah, it is like a scrapbook. Yeah, to an extent. And I didn't I didn't plan it that way. I'm not like intentionally getting things in the time, but as time moves, you just start to think where you were and what was happening. Um, so, but in the moment, like in the heat of things, I'd be like, "Oh shit, this is cute. Let me get that." So, yeah, yeah. I think the only one that I like that I thought really hard on was maybe my back piece, which is like this whole like my back from like neck to ass is like Kuan Yin, and she's like the deity of compassion, and I think forgiveness. And I was just trying to be more like that at the time. I was trying to like just like I was saying earlier, like move from a masculine era to a softer, more gentle era. And I felt like that was one of the ways that I was going to guide myself into that. Um, that and then this one I thought about a lot because this one is like a protection symbol. And one of my friends, we sat together and of course, we smoked weed. We sat together, we smoked, and he was like, kind of like drawing as he was talking to me and just like catching my vibe or whatever. And then he came back with this, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's great. And then he told me this whole meaning behind it that I forgot now. I just know that it's a protection symbol. But it sat with me, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is actually dope. Like, I liked how I experienced that moment, and that was really cool. And I started like implementing that into my practice, just like taking the moment to talk with my clients and get to know them. Um, it like it develops that like relationship, or that lasting memory.
Yeah.
um like some of the things, like even like some of the spots that I've been tattooed, maybe the tattoo's small, but that memory, or like um just being there and learning from them in that moment was big for me, you know
Mhm.
but
Yeah, my
yeah.
friend that I got tattooed by, she said that, I mean, part of being the tattoo artist, it's not just the tattoo, it's the experience as well. Like from the moment they walk into wherever they're gonna get tattooed until they come out of there, they're gonna associate that with whatever you put on their skin. So
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
mm,
because like I was saying earlier, it's a direct exchange of energy. Like people carry it with them, like no matter what. That's why you can't allow like your own life to get in the way. Like you just can't. You gotta like allow them to have that experience, and you gotta put your best foot forward and be who they need you to be. Like, because sometimes people come in here with heavy hearts, and if you're heavy too, it could just break them. You
mm,
know, and that's not what you're there for. Like you really just there to be like, um, I want to say a prop, but like I feel like that's wrong. Like a cane or something, like just to assist people.
for sure.
I don't find myself as like a therapist, because like I ain't study for that. But definitely like a support for clients, and I can't be like in my own head so much that I'm not listening to them or allowing them to have their full experience of their time with me. Especially people that are paying good money just to sit here with me for hours. I got to make sure my energy is good so that they can enjoy it and remember it. That's a
Hmm.
big thing. Um, that's a big thing. But I will say like I learned that when I was working in the street shops. Like, cause these people don't know you from Adam. Um, and they just walking in and trusting you. But if you make a good impression on them and you 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 allow them to be who they are and in the space that they're in, then they'll come back. You can make a client off of a walk-in at any moment. It just depends on how you handle them. So I treat everybody, even if we've had a consultation or whatever, I treat everybody with respect and make sure that they can set the mood. If they come in with a little funkiness on their shoulder, I'm trying to make jokes. I'm trying to lighten the air, because don't make it weird in here. You know, uh, so it you gotta hold space for your clients.
Hmm.
And sometimes it's easier said than done, but you gotta try.
For sure. I guess that's part of the job,
It is. It
Hmm.
is. I think so. And there's some people that don't give a fuck. Like, that just be like, get in here, sit in the chair, you pick it, I stick it, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, and I don't know, I just find that I've made more lasting clientele and like a lasting impression on people by just holding space for them and allowing them to see me authentically, in a way that they probably don't online or whatever in those 10 or 30 seconds that they see, you know? So yeah.
Mm.
And I mean, my clients typically come back. Like, a lot of I have the same clients from years, like when I
Mm.
first started, like 10 years ago. So
Man.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's all about how you treat people, and it's about how you. It's not just about, um, like the transactional, like okay, money and art, money, tattoo, money, whatever. It's like you're building connection at the same time, being able to like it's the person behind. It's not just they're not just a client. I'm not just an
Yeah.
artist. Like you, this is a person. It's a person that they got stuff going on too. They got fears. They might be anxious. They might
Yeah.
be, they're worried about how this might come out, or they got
Yeah.
something going on. They just got off the phone with somebody fussing
You never
earlier.
know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like it's the same in the public art realm too, though, because like those moments that you get to talk with the stakeholders or talk with the people about the project or whatever can like make or break you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they feel like, oh, this person is too arrogant, like we don't really want to with that. We don't want to work with them. Or like if you rub them the right way and they're like, wow, they seem like a genuine person. Like, I feel like they're gonna do a great job. Like, then you're more likely to get hired again. Um, so it's about putting your energy in the right space and allowing people to see you and your art in the best light. You know,
Yeah.
um,
And just
yeah,
treating people with that kindness and respect. One of there is it's a guy. Do you know Bhargava or Be Chill
no,
from Chill Studios? It's a photo studio in the Met. But super cool
mhm,
guy, super creative. And I remember I ended up being an intern for him, but
mhm,
he was saying beforehand, I didn't even remember the exact instance that he mentioned, but he said that he saw me at a mural festival one time, and he's walking past all these artists, and anytime he's like waving, the artists are just kind of like, oh, what's up, or like doing a little piece or whatever. And when I saw him, I had recognized him from before, and so I came down off my ladder and I went over there and I spoke to him. Hey, how you doing? Blah blah. And it was just like a regular conversation to me. I went back up and kept painting. But then he
yeah,
mentioned that whenever I applied to the internship, he was like, I remember you were the only person that came down off of that ladder that day. And it was like, it was just something about it that kind of just let me know that that, you like to give people the appropriate attention and respect. And he was
Yeah.
like, yeah, and it was that ended up being the thing that helped me like get that internship. And then like, I mean, I worked with him for a little while, and like, I mean, we still good friends to this day, and it's like because of like the smallest things like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, it be the littlest shit. Like, just taking that second just to be kind. Like, when you can tell that people are interested, like, just, hey, how y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
Like from the top or whatever. Like, people really hold that stuff near and dear, especially if they value your work. You know, like, people can love your work passing by all the time, but when they get a chance to interact with you, that's your chance to sell it. That's your chance to really like really tap in, because you never, like, especially in Atlanta, dog, like, you never know who knows who. Like, there's only like 6 degrees of separation from this person to that one, so it's like, I don't know, it's like you always gotta make sure you treating people with respect, and that kindness, like, that it really goes a long way. And I've 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 learned it. Like, I've learned it the easy way and the hard way. Um,
Yeah.
I, I it's yeah. So
It
yeah,
happens. It happens.
it does.
It be like that,
It
man.
does. But that's why, like, I feel like that's why I've kind of learned, like, when I'm going into a space where I'm creating, whether it be like live painting or whether it's like doing a convention or like doing an installation or whatever, I'm always kind to the people that come by and show love, because you never know who that person is. Like, that could be that could be your window to your next opportunity for the next 5 years, or in 5 years when you down and out, that might be the window. You never know. Like, you never know what'll be the one. So it's just easier. It's just easier to like be nicer to people, you know?
Yep. Yep.
And it don't cost you shit.
No. I mean, it's
No.
just what, maybe a little time. That's it. 5 seconds, 10 seconds.
Yeah. You can pull that line and jump down.
Yeah. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. You got it.
Yeah. And not for everybody. I'm not saying that, like, because then you'll be out there all day. But, you know,
Yeah.
but like,
Some.
some people that really got them, you could they keep coming back, and you could tell they really want to have a little powwow. Shit, who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
Because then
it'll
that
be,
sticks with people. Especially like I like whenever I see people who are like trying to be like who are like working to become artists, or kids that are like really
yeah,
inspired, because like that's
yeah,
huge. Because I remember being a kid, and then like just whenever you see people doing that, you never know. We're in that place now where we are the people that the kids see to get inspired to do whatever the thing is. And so
yeah,
if you're killing it and this kid sees you the right way, they might want to
and
do what you do one day,
yeah,
and
and
you
they
could be
could
the
be
one.
so fire, and you could be their whole inspiration, or you could be their detriment.
Mm-hmm.
You could be their horror story, and they could be like, this bitch was so fucking mean to me, you know. But hopefully that won't be the case. But like, you could really change the trajectory of people's lives, like, whether you know it or not. Like, honestly, because I will say, like, I had this one teacher that I thought was so cool. Like, she was the coolest lady ever. Like, I just loved the way she dressed. I loved how she carried herself. She was one of the only Black professors in the Georgia State Art Department, or that I had ran into. Um, and she was just everything that I wanted to be. And I loved her. I will always go to her class. Now, if I wouldn't go to nobody's class, I would go to her class. Um, but I I never told her that, right? So I left, I dropped out or whatever. And then like years later, like honestly, like this year, when did I see her? This year. I randomly saw her at the Goat Farm. They was doing that site exhibit, and she walked up on me, and I was telling her how much I I like had aspired to be her, like how much she like influenced me. And she was like, that is so crazy. Like it's like I never told her that. She was like, I've been watching you. I've been
Mm.
seeing you flourish. Like, I love this for you. I love this life. And I'm just like, bitch, guess what? Crazy because I love you. You know?
Yeah.
So like it just you never know who'll be that who you like who's gonna be that turning point, or who you'll be that turning point for, like for me it was her. Like she was so tight. Like she was unapologetic. She just her all the projects we did in her class were always really cool. And I was like, damn, like it really made me want to be an art teacher more or art professor more. But I just couldn't do it. It wasn't for me. But
Yeah.
but she still inspired me to be who I am today. And like it's really wild to like that she's even paying attention to me in that way. So
Yeah. It's like
you know,
it's I mean, and that's I guess that like pushes our point even further. Like just you just never know who you
ever.
influence, and so just making sure that you like, especially when it comes to the craft and stuff, just like doing your best whenever you
Yeah,
can. It's like super important.
absolutely.
Mm,
Absolutely. Doing your best and being kind.
yeah.
I feel like that's the biggest things. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
this is this has been a a great conversation, and
Yeah. And
I
I was nervous.
oh no, it's all good. It's just a conversation. That's it. But I appreciate you showing or taking the time to have this conversation. Feel like I've learned a lot about you and a lot about the tattoo industry and just about living life as a creative and being yourself and being unapologetic and putting your best foot forward, um, no matter what the circumstances are. And I think our conversation will help a lot of people who are going through a lot of the same things. And so I just wanted to extend a thank you to putting forth effort in this way.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. We don't really get a chance. I know we were talking about that yesterday. Like we don't really get a chance to like actually talk, because we're always working or like seeing each other in passing. So it was really cool just to sit and talk to you. I hope like I wish the best for this podcast. I think it's gonna go. You ask great
Hey,
questions. You keep it you keep it fun and light. So,
yeah,
you know, I wish you
cool.
much success.
Thank you. Now that it's like the summertime, I definitely got to get a skate session in too. I didn't know you skated like that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Count me in,
Okay.
big dog.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm I'm
Cool.
I'm good for that. I seen
Okay.
you doing like a little couple skate with your girl.
Yeah, we be out there. I mean,
Yeah.
she's way better than I am. I'll be trying to keep up with her, but
Oh, still.
yeah, well,
That's
we
what's
can
up.
all go out to the rink. That'll be cool. That'll be
Yeah.
fun.
I'll be out for that. Where are you going? I go to Cascade. You gonna go to Cascade?
Yeah, we go to Cascade. We go to Skate
Sparkles.
Town. We go
Okay,
to Golden
good.
Glide.
I grew up in Skate Town.
Skate Town is nice, especially on Mondays.
Yes, on
Mondays is
Mondays.
nice. Yep, that's the good one right
Yep.
there.
Yep.
And then Golden
So
Glide, the late Fridays at Golden Glide are
yes.
my favorites.
Yep. The little 1 a.m. John.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's the ones. That's the ones. Cause I live closest to Golden Glide too, so it's like
Okay.
15 minutes up the street, and then I'm. Mhm.
So,
Okay. Well,
yeah.
we'll work it all out. Work it all
Hell
out.
yeah. We got to.
But
That'll be great.
I wanted you to give us a good outro, letting people know who you are, where they can find you, how they can support you, and also nominating a couple of people that you'd like to see on the podcast in the future. And then I'll look into getting them on the show eventually.
Okay. A good outro. Well,
Yeah.
again, my name is Debbie Snax. I am a multifaceted artist. I can do all things. That's what I be telling my son to say. But I can do all things. Tattooing, murals, installations, anything you need, your girl can get her done. Um, it was a great time on the Vertex Podcast. And I guess my nominations, who would I nominate? One Frico, because that man is hilarious. Um, and I really feel like he just has a different, because he has 3 kids, he has a different outlook on the art game, and what it means for longevity. And I think he's just a very intellectual man. Like, but so, oh, what happened? Okay, boom. Yeah. Outside of that, Wes Holland too. Got a lot of knowledge. If you can talk to him, that would be great. Um, uh,
I've actually never really talked to Frico like ever, like not even
really,
casually, never.
really,
I know he's like a
yeah,
super cool guy and like he's cool with
yes,
all the homies. It's just, I've never really spoken to him ever.
yeah. Talk to that man.
Okay,
Talk to that man. He got some knowledge on him.
cool.
Um, he a good guy. He's a really good guy. Like at his core, he's just a good human.
Okay,
Um,
that's exciting.
um, even I know Zippy's taking a break, but even Zippy, she's got a lot of knowledge under her belt. She snorts a little bit, but it's cute. Uh,
I thought you were talking about a different kind of snort for a second. I was like,
no. I think, honestly, I think everybody that I know has moved past that time in their life. So that's good.
yeah.
She snorts while she laughs. Who else would I love to watch? I seen you had Action Hank Beard on here, and that man is phenomenal.
Yeah, he's just living different, man. I've been a fan
And
of his work since middle school, and like his
like he's he's one of the first Black people that I really saw doing like character drawings that like I really fucked with.
mhm.
That I just like I was like, oh, that's a cool, like that's dope. Yeah, but yeah. I'm trying to think of who else. Frico, West Holland. Um, I yeah,
That's some
I
good
don't know. And
nominations.
Charity, huh?
Oh, Charity too. Yeah, I was saying those are some
Charity,
good nominations already.
yeah. I think Charity is she's she's a force to be reckoned with. Like she's been through a lot or she's seen a lot. She's been in a lot of different spaces and she's got a lot of knowledge.
Mm,
Um, and I think she's really dope.
okay,
Probably fun to talk to. So yeah.
cool, cool. I'm gonna reach out to them all. Definitely had West Holland planned, but
Man,
Frico, Zippy, and Charity, I'll definitely reach out to them and see what's up.
yeah, definitely got to talk to West Holland. That man is he's so interesting. And I love the way that he listens. Like we would go to lunches and stuff, and like if he doesn't understand you, he'd be like, so what do you mean by that? Can you break that down and give me an explanation of what that means? You know?
He
But I
want to
like that
know.
about him. He challenges me the way I think, and it makes me like elaborate on things that I normally wouldn't. And I fuck with that. And it makes me feel like he's actually listening.
Yeah,
Um, which is really dope. Like I like him a lot. So I'm definitely all of these podcasts I'm gonna watch. But yeah, I appreciate you having me, man.
absolutely. Thank you. Well,
Yeah,
cool. I hope you enjoy the rest of your night.
I will. I gotta go get my child.
All right. Well, you be safe out there.
All right. Have a
All
great night.
right. See you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching the episode. One of my favorite things about doing this podcast is hearing about when someone resonates with something we said. It's truly the reason I continue to make these happen. Comment down below what stuck with you, and we can continue the discussion further. Also consider liking and subscribing. It helps me bring in more amazing creatives and helps me make this show better for you all every episode. Catch y'all next week.